We are underway here at Yarra Junction Memorial Reserve. Monbulk versus Woori, Yallock, first semi-final. Evans gets the first tap, try to get it to Banks, but it flies straight over his head. Geordie Williams tries to track it back, but he couldn't get the ball under his control. Beecroft, bouncing ball, taking in a gang tackle. Williams takes him to ground, the ball going nowhere. And it will be a stoppage. So Monbulk get the ball to half forward through no real skill, but just willfully. So up it goes again. Evans gets the better of the tap, but I think he's given away a free kick for high contact. This will go the way of Monkhorst. So Monkhorst with the first real possession for Woori Yallock. Assesses some options down the line. Arnold, one of those. Angus Smith has got a bit of room to work with, so he goes in the Smith direction. Beecroft with front position takes the intercepting mark. And Monbulk will be able to counter-attack, and Beecroft should be able to send them inside forward 50 with the breeze behind it. That's a beautiful kick, and it works onto the chest of Hewson. Havern calls for it, but he goes short. Rutherford's got it.
Oh, yeah.
And he can line them up from 20 out on a slide angle. And he's got the breeze going right behind that shoulder of his. So it's going to be all about accuracy, but Bailey to Rutherford with an early opportunity for the Hawks. And what a confidence booster this would be in the first semi-final. Got it on the second attempt. Beat Atchison on the lead. So with the drop punt, as mentioned, distance only about 20 or 25 metres. Little angle to deal with the breeze blowing over his shoulder. And he comes, Bailey Rutherford. Beautiful kick, no troubles at all. And the Hawks have got the first. 1 straight 6 to the Tigers, yet to score. 1.5 gone in the first quarter.
He made that look really easy, didn't he?
He did.
The foot. It was a bit out of his reach, but he just got to handle it and sort of tapped it back to himself. And I mean, if you're going to take a mark like that, then why don't you just go back and slot it? It was really well constructed. That kick from Beecroft was really good, just into the top of the 50. Who marked it? I can't remember.
Ben Hewson.
Ben Hewson, that's right. So just really well crafted it until that forward pocket bit. And then Rutherford, with a great mark.
That's it. Well done to Houston as well to not blaze away and get carried away with the wind, because Havern was long, but he pulled the kick short and worked out beautifully. So Evans just grabs the ball out of the rack, busts the tackle, dishes off, and the Hawks should be inside forward 50 off the boot of Finlay. Havern couldn't quite stick the mark. Atchison managed to get the ball to ground level. Havern paddles it back inside the forward 50. In goes Banks. So too Burley. The Tigers under all sorts of pressure. Williams escorts it over the boundary line. In fact, he's won himself a free kick. So the Tigers have got the ball at half-back. Geordie Williams thought about dishing off, decided against that. Goes backwards to go forwards. Robbie Allen, umpire said not 15. Long kick up the line, flies over the head of Hunter Ryan, and it's gone out of bounds on the full. And the Hawks will be able to counter-attack.
So, Hawks with the footy at the moment. Monbulk having a look around, trying to figure out their options. So just a short kick gets onto the chest of Spencer. So Spencer will just have a bit of a check. He thought about handing it off, decided to wheel around on the right boot, sends it deep inside forward 50, and has unfortunately turned it over straight onto the chest of Atchison.
Well taken by Atchison. That was a genuine helicopter of a ball.
It was all over the place, wasn't it? So, kick it out of defence. Do Woori Yallock on that far side of the ground. Couldn't quite find a clean set of hands, but running through everyone, of course, there was Monkhorst. So gets it onto the boot there. Oh, really well done by Smith to get it into the hands of Dare, and Dare kicked it forward. Looking for a player currently in the hands of Monkhorst. Monkhorst kicked it inside 50, and he's just missed to the near side. So Riley Monkhorst on that occasion. Just a bit rushed on the kick. I reckon he had more time than he thought he did. But it ended up being a behind. So the first behind on Woori Yallock's scorecard at the moment. So the Hawks will get to kick it out of the goal square. Kicking it long down the line. Looking for a set of hands, couldn't quite find any. Not a bad attempt from Woori Yallock just then to try and get a hand on it, but couldn't quite stick the mark. So we'll have a stoppage about true centre wing. And the umpire will throw the ball aloft once more. No one really got a hand to it in the ruck, and I thought maybe held there was one of the Monbulk players. But we will get a stoppage again. I thought maybe a little bit unlucky for Evans not to get a free kick there, but I mean, that's all up to interpretation, isn't it?
Exactly right, Adam.
So the umpire will have the stoppage again. Up goes the footy in the ruck contest. Evans again was bodied out of the contest. Nothing called, so we'll have a stoppage one more time. So it's still in that true centre wing area on the pavilion side of the ground, but the ball is not moving at all. No,
exactly right. So outer side of the ground, or pavilion side of the ground once again, the far side from us. Ball tapped into the hands of Hatherley, but he's gang tackled. Ball going nowhere. The umpire calls for another stoppage. So it's a bit of a gridlock on the pavilion wing. The Hawks with the early margin so far, 5 points ahead, 1 straight 6 to just the one behind. as Evans and Zach Monkhorst do battle in the ruck. Zach gets the better of the tap. Ball comes down to ground level, and the umpire circling, and again, that ball just going nowhere, and another ball up on the pavilion wing. So can the Tigers get the responding goal? Yet to lead so far today. Monkhorst again gets the better of the tap, but it's sharked by Banks. Was he taken high? Umpire calls him to go. And he was about to play holding the ball, but the ball came out. He was right about to blow the whistle, but the Hawks just managed to get the ball clear. And in all of that, it's another ball up on the pavilion wing. It is a genuine gridlock over there. Up it goes. Monkhorst taps in towards a corridor. Smith gathered it beautifully. Sends the ball to half forward looking for Ben Monkhorst. Lind gets the fist in. But the Hawks, or the Tigers in fact, Noah Dare dishes off. Harvey Smith ran into trouble. Goes backwards to go forwards. Geordie Williams gang tackled. Angus Smith again gets himself involved. Gets a kick away. Hunter Ryan, beautiful mark, but it wasn't 15. And now the Hawks will be on the counter-attack. Comes away to Hatherley, beautifully gathered. Ball goes through hands momentarily. Beecroft onto Burley. Burley dishes off. They're inside forward 50. Can Wall run onto it? No. Robbie Allen with the intercept possession. Tries to spin his way out of trouble. Eventually got it away to Simpson. Simpson dishes off to Ryan. Ryan gets the kick away on the right. Is that a free kick? Has to be, yep. High contact on, I believe that was Thompson, and Woori Yallock take the advantage. Oh, have they turned it over? No, the mark couldn't be taken. Riley Monkhorst presented nicely. Gets out of trouble. Spins onto the right. Kick to the top of the square, or into the pocket, in fact, and stays in play. And nearly a chance there for Woori Yallock. Marsh, can he keep it in play? No, he can't. Very scrappy passage of play there, to say the least. It'll be thrown back into play deep inside the forward 50 of Woori Yallock. So Riley Monkhorst will attend his first ruck contest. Zach Monkhorst will sit behind the footy. Evans goes in still for Monbulk. Up it goes. Evans with front position. Riley Monkhorst, though, wins it from the back. Here's a chance now. Basoli puts it away. And the Tigers in front for the first time today. 1-1-7 to 1 straight 6. And we've been going 7 minutes into the first quarter.
Really good roving job too. Just sprinted through the pack and went, thank you very much, this one's mine. Did Basoli. So really good start for Woori Yallock. I thought maybe for a second they were going to let Monbulk score on that counter-attack that they had, but did really well to get it at a defensive 50 and just to get it in there. Just a quick note, you have a ball up in your forward 50 and usually you go, oh cool, you put your full forward there because you're tall.
Yep.
Imagine going into your full forward line and you've just got 3 Monkhorsts to deal with. You know what I mean? Like, that is such a bizarre circumstance to deal with as a Monbulk defender, surely.
It most certainly would be, Adam, and it's back in the middle.
Absolutely it is. So the umpire throwing the footy up in the air once more. Winning the tap there. Wasn't really anyone, to be honest. Ended up in the hands of Monbulk, but turning it over right onto the chest of Arnold. So Arnold will go back on the right foot, kicking it towards the boundary line. Did find a set of hands. I thought it was very well marked. Handed it off into that man Simpson. Simpson's got the footy, tried to handball it forward, didn't quite work out. It's a ground ball at the moment. Picked up again by Woori Yallock into the hands of Matthews. Matthews got it onto the boot and couldn't quite get a mark in the pocket. Really good job to sock it off the ground, but couldn't quite get it through the middle. Contesting the footy at the moment is Harvey Smith. And a holding the man free kick will be paid against Woori Yallock. So we'll get Monkhorst standing on the mark. I didn't quite see who the recipient is. So in the pocket at the moment, Monbulk kicked it out, and it's a huge kick, to be honest. It's gone over the halfway mark. Really well done. Tracking it back is Grimes. Grimes couldn't quite get a disposal away, so the ball just sort of rolls around on the ground. It's a hands and feet game. It's just ends up being a stoppage. It was quite hectic for a moment, and just no one could quite get a clean possession away. It's certainly an interesting one on that far side.
Not to take anything away from the kick, but that's what the breeze is going to do today.
100%.
That's where it's going.
Absolutely it is. So the footy goes up once more into the hands of Woori Yallock off the boot of Harvey Smith again, who's been busy in the last couple of minutes. Into the hands at the moment of Brown. Brown handballs it back, so they become on the counter-attack, do Monbulk. So Monbulk with the footy at the moment in the hands of Evans. Evans hands it off. Gets it to Brown. Brown sends it inside forward 50, but unfortunately out of bounds on the full. Again, I reckon that's the way the wind's going right at that pavilion, so it's going to be hard to kick it along that wing, I would have thought. So Smith with the footy at the moment. Sends it long. Trying to get a clean set of hands. Couldn't quite mark it. Couldn't Matthews. So they've got a counter-attack. Do Woori Yallock, but they've turned the footy over. Currently got it as Shepherd. Shepherd tried to do the long handball, didn't quite work in his favour. Dare had the footy and then turned it over as well. The umpire calls to play on. Handball long inside for Woori Yallock. Got the footy at the moment. Had a shot at goal, did
Basoli.
Oh, and it wasn't quite to be for Basoli. Did quite a good job to shake off his defenders and just couldn't quite get it done.
That's all right. So it's going to be a kick in at fullback for the Hawks. So Cody Basoli nearly with his second goal. Looks like Shepherd with the kicking duties Got Thornton to the pavilion, sorry, the broadcast side if he wants him, but he will go to the pavilion side. Loads up on the right boot, high up and under ball, using the breeze. Monkhorst, though, of the Zach variety, forces the interception, got the handball away. Now Angus Smith gets himself involved. Huge numbers surround the contest, the ball going at nowhere again. And another stoppage on the pavilion wing. I reckon we're nearly in about double digits of stoppages on the pavilion wing, to be perfectly honest. Up it goes. The binoculars getting a good work out at the moment. Evans got the better of the tap. Burley on hands and knees. In goes Thompson. Ball is locked in again, and another stoppage. So the Tigers doing it pretty well at the moment. They don't have the breeze going in their direction, but they've got the lead, and they're the one goal for the Hawks so far. So up it goes again. Evans wins the tap, and there's a free kick, and this is going to go Woori's way. So Zach Monkhorst, the recipient of the free kick. Pretty good battle this. Cam Evans, of course, one of the leading hit-out getters and hit-outs to advantage in Premier Division up against the Monkhorst brothers. It's going to be a huge battle on the ruck. High up and under ball. Oh, Gibson couldn't quite get front position, and the intercepting mark is taken. So the Hawks get out of jail for the moment, but for how long? Low trajectory ball works out. Wentworth, though, spilled the mark. He's been corralled, gets his kick away. Monkhorst will park himself underneath it, but in the end it flies over his head and onto the chest of Harvey Smith. Smith comes back in towards the corridor to Allen. Allen goes short, works out beautifully to Hunter Ryan, who plays on, gets around Burley, sends the Tigers inside forward, 50. And another intercepting mark is taken, beautifully done by Shepherd. So Shepherd will try and get the Hawks out of danger again. Low trajectory ball. Works out pretty well again out towards the pavilion wing. So the Hawks trying to find a four-way forward. High up and under ball. Haverns the target. Evans sticks it. So Cam Evans can wheel around. And he's got the breeze behind him. He could just about put him inside forward 50, but he pulls the kick short for the moment, looking for Wall. Flies over the head of Williams. Lockie Beecroft does use the breeze. Distance won't be a problem, but accuracy will. He's offline, 117 to 128. 12 minutes gone into the first quarter.
Like you were saying before, these distances aren't going to be a problem with this wind, but it's so swirling around down there that you don't really know which way the direction's going to go. And you can see the ball take some weird ball flight movements in the air, just floating around like a helicopter.
Exactly right, Adam.
So Woori will take it out of their defensive 50, out of the goal square at the moment. So kicking it long. There was Allen. Allen taken out of defence, tried to fight a set of hands, couldn't quite. Trying to track it down there was Matheson, but couldn't quite get his hands on it. Lockie Beecroft's got the footy at the moment. A long shot at goal, couldn't quite. Oh, not quite there.
That was Rack.
That was Rack?
Yep.
Absolutely it was. So just missed that left side, did Josh Rack. Just again, like we said, distance will not be a problem today at all up this end of the ground. But Allen takes it out of defence again. No sets of hand found again, but looking after it again is Atchison. And we'll get a stoppage just outside the forward 50 for Woori, for Monbulk even.
I wouldn't be surprised if we see a goal from the centre circle today, Adam.
Yeah, it'd be fantastic to call, wouldn't it? So Cam Evans wins the tap on that occasion. Punched out there by Woori Yallock, getting the hands away. Dare's got the footy at the moment, trying to drop the kick short. Couldn't quite take it, couldn't Monkhorst. Ends up on the ground, tapping it around his Monkhorst to the bend variety, but off the ground did Lind. So Lind tried to kick it to the far wing, and it worked out okay, but there's pressure being put on everywhere by the Tigers. So tracking it down at the moment is Monbulk in the hands of Brown. Brown's being wrapped up by multiple players, and there's again that far wing is getting a workout in stoppages.
It most certainly is. The Tigers are doing a really good job here. They're possessing the football. They're not allowing too much flow for Monbulk, and when they're against the breeze, that's what they've got to do. And then if they can keep scores around about level, they'll have a good opportunity to be able to take advantage of it in the second.
100%, I agree with you, Aiden. And we get an out of bounds call, and we'll just have a throw in. So again, it's that far wing stoppages, because that wind is playing such a factor, and it's changing the way that both teams play, because they actually have to play a different game.
Exactly, yep.
Because of how severe this wind is at the moment. So I'm interested to see how this throw-in goes. Up goes the footy. Comes in. Didn't actually change the path that much, which works out all right. On the ground, Monbulk trying to grab it at the moment. End up getting possession out the back. Kicking deep into the middle. Getting held. It was what I thought was going to happen, but didn't. No luck for Hewson. Kicking it out. Handballing it out even for Woori Yallock. Trying to work out wide. And guess what? They're going to the pavilion wing. And it's gone out of bounds on the full. So Monbulk will have the opportunity to bring this one back in. Again, on that pavilion wing. Handballed it inboard. Gets the shorter kick, and he's just turned it over. So Woori Yallock have a chance in defence.
Monkhorst takes the intercepting mark. He's been quite influential so far. Ryan gets the fist in. Was Williams pushed? No. Umpire happy to let it go. So it'll be a boundary throw in out on the pavilion side. Nearing half forward for the Hawks. So they've got the ball in the right end of the ground, but they haven't really taken full advantage of this breeze so far that they've had in the first quarter. The Tigers have done a good job to nullify a lot of the scoring. They conceded a goal inside the first minute, but haven't conceded anything since. So up it goes. Zach Munkhorst wins the tap. Try to get it down to Matheson. Matheson applies the pressure on Brown, but Brown goes in for seconds. Gets the kick away. Ball heads towards the boundary line. Here is Rutherford trying to do the ground level work. In goes Houston. There's a whistle and a boundary throw, and the ball's trickled over the line. So wait for the ball to be thrown back into play at half forward here for the Hawks. So again, it'll be Zach Munkhorst and Cam Evans to do battle in the ruck. Up it goes. Zach gets the front position, although Cam Evans got there quite late, made it work. So that was Adams. Gets the ball out of defence for Woori. Yallock. Ball heads towards the boundary line, but again gathered by Brown. Had plenty of the ball in the first quarter. Squares it up to his mate Ryan Burley, but a free kick's been given away. And Taylor Gibson, who's very high up the ground, will be the recipient of the free kick. Calls for a couple of players to come at him. In no real hurry. Sends the ball long down the line. The kick probably going to pull up a bit short. In the breeze, there's a big fly, but the intercepting mark is taken by Shepherd, who's been pretty good in defence for the Hawks. Shepherd, in no real hurry. Probably want to pull the trigger again with the breeze behind him. Pulls the kick short. Oh, this could be trouble for Monbulk, but Burley gathered it, and he does. Kicks the ball long, inside forward 50. Hatherley's a target. The ball bounces over the top. Allen, can he get there? Did he touch it? Yes, he did. Robbie Allen just got there in time. Oh, that was nearly an 80-metre goal. I did say, Adam, we might see one from the centre circle, and we nearly did. And in the meantime, the Hawks do get the lead back. Second lead change of the game.
My word. That was almost one of the goals of the season.
So out go the Tigers from the defensive 50. Oh, Beecroft couldn't quite stick it. Thompson gets the ball under his control. Handball over the top. Gemmell runs onto it. Overlap run provided by Angus Smith. He goes back to Gemmell, who lost control of the ball. Was there a hold from Shepherd? Umpire calls him to go. Angus Smith goes in for seconds. Gathered here by Basoli. He finds Angus Smith. He goes to Thompson. Thompson being corralled. Keeps the ball in play, though, most importantly, but eventually Monbulk has scored it over, and it will be thrown back into play on the broadcast side of the ground.
So finally we have a stoppage on this side of the ground that we can somewhat see. That being said, it is directly in my blind spot, so as I lean out of the box, we'll get a boundary throw in. Up goes the footy once more. Winning the tap there is neither ruck, to be honest. I thought Evans had a better job at it, but ends up being a stoppage there. Again, pressure being applied by Evans, so pretty good job by Monbulk. As we said, the scores are only a point in it at the moment. Monbulk got the footy at the moment, kicking it down the wing, slipping over there with Beecroft, trying to get her hands on it was Rutherford. Couldn't quite do it though, it's been corralled over the boundary there by, I believe that was Smith, it was. So Smith did a pretty good job for Woori Yallock, just trying to get it out of bounds so that Monbulk couldn't get the advantage, but it does mean that we'll have a stoppage in there forward 50 for Monbulk. So up goes the footy once more. Grabbed out of the ruck, or not quite by Evans, tried to double hand paddle it forward. Beecroft gave the handball off, ended up handballing it to himself, and he might do the same thing now, never mind. So Monbulk on the boot, looking for Rutherford and couldn't quite. In fact, he was not looking for Rutherford, it was Wall. But I believe we'll get another boundary throw in inside that Monbulk forward 50, so it's certainly one that's staying down there at the moment. You can see that the midfield is working really well for Monbulk, but it's just a matter about converting it to a scoreboard opportunity. Up goes the footy again. Tap down one by Monbulk. Handballed out the back. Who's got it but Lockie Beecroft around the corner. Oh. Really well spoiled in the goal square. Running onto it now is Wentworth. Wentworth having a shot on goal. Couldn't kick it from there, could he? No. Tried to level it to the middle and just ended up putting it in the hands of Polton. So Polton for Woori Yallock will have a really good opportunity to escape this very heavy Hawks attack that they've put on. Kicking it up the middle and he turned it over. So Monbulk have got the footy in the hands of Thornton. So Thornton's lining this up from about 50, 55.
Oh, probably 40, 45, I reckon.
40, 45? Yeah, no worries. And kicked into the pocket. And there's not an easier mark than that. So really well done for Monbulk.
That'll be Beecroft.
Yeah, it'll be Beecroft. Yeah, so Beecroft on a huge lead. And you know what, he made that look really easy.
He did.
I know Beecroft's a fantastic player, so he makes a lot of things look pretty easy, but not much more than that. But the wind sailing over his head, so can he put it through? Coming in now on that left boot. He's pushed it a little to the left.
Ooh.
So that's another behind on that Monbulk scorecard.
So 1 for 10 they are now. The Tigers again with an opportunity to escape the defensive 50. Straight onto the chest of Basoli. who thought about dishing back into the corridor, but he'll just go laterally, and that'll work out just fine to Simpson. So we tick into red time, 20 minutes gone into the first quarter. Simpson loads up on the left boot. Looking for Marsh. Ben Monkhorst flew in from the side. Marsh in a one-on-one against Savoury. Ball spills to ground level. Dishing it off just in time was Finlay. And the umpire says, no, it'll be a ball up. Pretty red hot on that one. Ball did just escape, but we'll have a stoppage on the broadcast wing. So Bailey Rutherford will attend this stoppage for Monbulk. Zach Monkhorst will still do the duties for Woori Yallock. Up it goes once again. Rutherford probably got the better of the tap. Nearly a chance for Thornton. Thompson comes away with it, though, and he was able to burn off the tackle. His kick was smothered, though. Was there a hold? No, umpire calls him to go. Here's a chance. Beecroft gets a kick away on the left. High up and under ball, but Hunter Ryan does well. He takes the intercepting mark. And the Tigers again repel the attack of the Hawks. They've done pretty well defensively in this first quarter up against the Breeze. So, Angus Smith in no real hurry, and rightly so too. Just sends it long down the line. In fact, he does bring it back towards a corridor. The ball fisted away from Gibson. Flew over the head of Grimes. Simpson under all sorts of pressure. In comes Polton to provide a bit of a hand. And they've done well again, the Tigers. They've locked it up and the ball not going anywhere. Stoppage at centre half forward for the Hawks. So in a dangerous position, given the Breeze. Definitely a chance for a snap out of the pack here that might be able to go through if they can get the Breeze to take it. So Zach Monkhorst gets the better of that tap. Shark by Declan Brown. Goes to Banks. Good strong tackle laid by Gemma. In comes Angus Smith once again. Feigned for a free kick, I reckon. And interesting. So a free kick for below the knees was paid. So again, Woori out of danger. He dishes off to Joel Smith. Does Angus. Joel runs through the corridor. Sends the ball out wide to a one-on-one contest. The mark won't be taken. Gibson, though, gets the ground level work done. Can send him inside forward 50. Finlay intercepts it. Dishes off. Now the Hawks out of danger. Off the boot of Shepherd. Running onto it is Wentworth. Can he beat the ball to the boundary line? No, he can't. It'll be thrown back into play on the pavilion wing. Ball lived out on that side of the ground. So we start to near quarter time. Just 2 points separates the sides. 1-2-8 to 1-4-10. With 22 minutes gone into the first quarter. And I think the Tigers would be pretty happy with this up against the Breeze. They've only allowed the one goal through so far, and that came in the first minute of play. And they've got a free kick here out of the ruck contest, so... Oh no, in fact, it's going to go Monbulk's way. The umpire pointed the wrong way. So Rutherford, the recipient. Havern, the deepest forward. He's got a bit of space on Robbie Allen. He pulls the kick to about half forward. Wentworth will fly. Won't stick the mark. Beautifully gathered. Rack dishes off. Declan Brown taps the ball back into the corridor. Houston, though, busts his way through and slams it onto the right and nails it. Or has he? Yes, he has. He's got it. So the Hawks extend the margin to 8 points. 2-4-16 to 1-2-8. 23 gone into the first quarter.
He didn't feel with any confidence with the celebration, did he?
No.
For a second, I thought he might have missed it right, but absolutely not. He did a really good job running through the pack, dodging around players, even his own teammates, and just put it through the middle, which is exactly what you want. 2-4, as you said, to 1-2. So again, pretty good scoring for Monbulk. But it's all going to be about how this second quarter goes, I reckon. I
don't think he actually saw it go through because I think he slipped forward. So okay. I think he got up, and I think because it didn't come off the boot particularly well. No, so I think it was a bit of a rush, and obviously he had to get it away quickly, but he did get the goal. So, and more importantly, the Hawks do get a bit more of a lead now.
Exactly right, a little bit more breathing room as the footy goes up once more in the centre of the ground. Tap down one by Monkhorst. Running onto it now are the Tigers, but there's Hawks everywhere to contest them. Monbulk got the handball out the back, but it ended up in the possession of the Tigers. Dare on the right boot, try to just chip it over everybody, but running through the middle is Monbulk. Chipped it out wide to Brown. Brown dished it off as well. A bit of a rushed attempt from Wall. So in the moment, absolutely, the Tigers have it at the minute. So getting it in is Gemmell. Gemmell tried to chip it to the top of the 50. Got it in the hands of the Moses Basoli. Tried to get rid of it, couldn't quite. In the hands of Wall again. Evans got the footy once more. Handballed it off to Wirtz. Wirtz kicked it down the line, found an open man. So they can just settle down a bit, Hawks. And they can just assess their options at the moment. So kicked it long down the line. Found that man there in Havern. And he's taking the mark. So long left foot kick. And up at about half forward. Who's going to be under it? No one on the Hawks side. But Woori Yallock, a really strong mark taken there by Monkhorst. Kicked it out wide again. Oh, and I thought that we maybe see a play on there. And made a bit of a mess of the kick. Did Woori Yallock.
Dear.
Oh no, that's not exactly what you want. It's a lot of pressure on that kick. Just a short little chip trying to find Polton and just couldn't quite get the kick to land. So we'll have a boundary throw in just outside the forward 50 of Monbulk. So in comes the footy once more. It's such a good contest. Evans grabbed it out of the ruck. A bit of a nippy looking handball off the boot there of Brown. Brown kicked it to half forward. Oh, a huge fly from Hevern. Couldn't quite get it done. So at the moment, got the footy is Polton. Polton handballed it off, but it's been turned over. Up through the goal. Oh, just hit the woodwork. Really good attempt from Monbulk there.
I think that was Grimes.
I was going to say Grimes. Grimes, really good stuff to put on that pressure, and just unfortunate that it just sort of helicoptered into the post. So the Tigers get to exit defensive 50 in the hands of Atchison at the moment. Atchison looking for someone to come at him, so he just goes the short wide kick, getting into the hands of Simpson. Simpson has a short kick as well, looking for his players as long as they talk, and there's no spilling between them. So Williams got the ball at the moment. Williams looking inboard, so he just takes the long kick, tried to get it at the top of the 50-metre mark. Couldn't quite take the mark with that man there. Couldn't quite see who it was. It might be Matheson. So Matheson kicks it inside forward 50, looking for Zach Monkhorst. Couldn't quite get the footy. So Monbulk had it and then turned it over. Another shot at goal. Bounced off the Monbulk defender. Tap into the goal square. Monbulk's got the footy at the moment. Kicked it out. Tried to go for Evans, but Evans couldn't take it. Brown was there as well. In fact, it was actually Wall. But we'll have a stoppage at the top of the forward 50 for Woori Yallock, and this has been quite a momentum swing in the last couple of moments.
It most certainly has. So up goes the ball once again, and there is a siren for quarter time. And the Tigers, a pretty good effort considering they did have the breeze up against them. The Hawks, though, do have the advantage. 2-5-17. They lead the Tigers 1-2-8. And Adam, a pretty tight tussle so far. But I reckon, despite Monbulk having the lead, I reckon the advantage probably with Woori Yallock, because they only conceded the 2 goals against a pretty heavy breeze.
Exactly right. So
second quarter action is underway. So Zach Monkhorst up against Cam Evans. Monkhorst got the better of the tap, and he's got the footy in hand right now. Did he spill it? No. Umpire calls him to go. Here is Cam Evans again, doing absolutely everything. Angus Smith taking in a dumping tackle. And it will be take 2 in the centre. Just forward to centre for Woori Yallock. As Zach Monkhorst and Cam Evans again to do battle in the ruck. Up it goes. Tap one down by Evans, but it was sharked by Smith, and he's taken high. And the Tigers will eventually get the centre clearance. Geordie Williams called for the handball, but Smith will send the ball inside forward 50 himself, and he lofts it high up and under ball. Gibson is there, and he sticks it, does he? I think it's been paid. I reckon he had it long enough, and Taylor Gibson gets his first look at goal.
Certainly held that for a fair back of time, but then just got I don't know if he was chopping the arms or just spoiled out in his hands, but certainly held it long enough for it to be paid.
So Taylor Gibson, 90 goals in season 2025. He is directly in front, only about 35 metres out. This for goal number 91, for his first on the afternoon, for Woori second, and to get the margin back down to 3 points. In he comes, kicked 4 goals in the qualifying final last week, and he needs to impose himself in this game to get Woori through to next week. Low trajectory ball, and it's straight over the goal umpire's cap, and Taylor Gibson's got his first. 2-2-14 to 2-5-17. 1.5 gone into the second quarter.
And that's 91 goals for season 2025 Taylor Gibson. So really well done, and great stuff for him today. So just the 1 goal at the moment, but it's his first attempt to kick it into the wind, and they found him immediately.
Yep. He did that really nicely too. Beautifully manicured kick as the ball comes back into the middle. And this is going to be the quarter for him to potentially dominate, with the wind blowing down to that end of the ground for Woori Yallock. So Cody Basoli playing in a forward pocket. Riley Monkhorst is actually playing out a full forward. Gibson's down there as well, so that's going to be a big one for Monbulk to try and manage. So Robbie Savoury doing the job on Riley Monkhorst. Not quite sure who's got the one-on-one job there on Taylor Gibson, but that's an interesting matchup for the Hawks to try and work out. Definitely going to keep Matt Cunningham on his toes. Evans gets the better of the tap. Banks gathers it, but he spilled it. Huge numbers around the ball, and through comes the umpire, and it will be another stoppage. Out on the pavilion wing, just forward to centre for the Hawks.
Just quickly, it's Aaron Hall who's got the matchup on Taylor Gibson at the moment. So the footy goes up once more on that far pavilion wing. So tracking after the footy is the Woori Yallock at the moment. They are going to get a free kick on the back of that contest. Angus Smith being held off the footy, so he kicks it long down the line. Try to find a set of hands in Gibson, but the kick sailed well over everyone's head. Not a single player knew where that went. So tapping it over the back is Monbulk. Monbulk tried to hand it off and worked their way through to the boundary side, and ended up crossing the line over in front of the pavilion. So a couple of arms raised from the Woori Yallock side, but unfortunately, boys, that is not how the rule works. So in comes the footy once more for a banded throw-in. Working the ruck contest there is Evans. Evans got first hands to it, but it ended up in the hands of Monkhorst anyway. So we'll have another stoppage at the top of the 40-metre or 50-metre arc. How big are these arcs?
I think they're only about 40 here at Junction. They're not massive.
Yep, 40. I always have to ask because I never remember. I tapped one again.
Oh!
By Woori Yallock, and it went past everyone. Took a really odd bounce, didn't it? It's a weird thing, this Sharon. So kicked out wide, and Monbulk have possession at the moment. Everyone just sort of floods down the field. There was not a single person behind the footy at the moment. So kick it forward, long down the line, intercepted there by Woori Yallock. So really well done there. And
25?
25, yeah. I was going to say, I heard another whistle, but I didn't quite see the umpire make any movement. So must be a 25-metre penalty, and in fact, it'll take him just to the top of the arc.
Jacob Atchison, and he will line them up.
Oh, well, he will. So I was going to say it's a long kick. It's not super long. Only has to kick from about 45 with this wind. Why wouldn't you? So he gets it on the boot and just sails to that left side. So Atchison just couldn't quite get it done. So it ends up back in the hands of Monbulk. So they'll have the opportunity to exit the defensive 50, and they're just going to slow everything up for a minute. I can't find Atchison on my team sheet, so I'm just knocking
number
it
18
down. Yeah, so kick it out wide. Did that man there, Shepherd. Shepherd tried to find a set of hands, and in fact he has. Really well done, taking the mark there. So Monbulk have the opportunity. So just have a look around. It's pretty flooded down on that wing side, so he's going to kick it long down the line. Looking for a set of hands. Oh, not quite there from Rutherford. So we'll almost get a stoppage. In fact, it wasn't a stoppage. Beecroft got his hands to the footy and tried to burst through the world and ended up causing another stoppage. So again, quite a stoppage-heavy game on that far wing.
It most certainly is. So the Tigers back within 2 points the difference, with the breeze blowing to the southern end of the ground, which is where they're kicking to. So wait for the ball to be thrown back into play. Again, Zach Monkhorst and Cam Evans. Cam Evans gets to the front, gets the better of the tap. Ball spills down to ground level again. As Adam mentioned, it's been a stoppage-heavy game, which is, I think, being mainly forced by the teams kicking to the northern end of the ground because they're against the breeze. They're trying to clog it up and play possession footy. Obviously, the team kicking to the southern end, they want to go long. So the Hawks started pretty well so far, consider the one goal, but again, neither team has really taken full toll this breeze, but in saying that, it is only early days in the second quarter. Zach Monkhorst gets the better of the tap. Beecroft gets a kick away. Woori Yallock peel for on the full, and I thought the boundary umpire called for a boundary throw in, but the field umpires overruled him. So the Tigers will get the ball. Look at the big bit of dust just blows from the car park. Anyway, here go the Tigers. Long kick. Should go inside the forward 50. Gibson can't quite stick it on this occasion. Gathered by Finlay, but his handball was smothered. Monbulk with all the representation. Lynn paddles the ball in front of himself. Heads towards the boundary line. Ball locked in for the moment. Spencer spins around one. Gets the kick away. And no, the mark couldn't be taken by Grimes. It's intercepted by Angus Smith. So the Tigers on the counter-attack. They'll go inside forward 50. Monkhorst on the lead. It won't get to him. Ball spills down to ground level. Comes back into the corridor. Williams lays a good strong tackle. And the Tigers lock it in for now. It'll be a stoppage about 35 out from goal for Woori Yallock. So Gibson will attend the ruck contest. Gibson probably got the better of the tap. Nearly got it down to Ben Monkhorst. It slapped straight back into the hands of Cam Evans. He's going nowhere. He's constrained in the tackle. And another stoppage, similar position just as before. So the umpire throws the ball off again. Riley Monkhorst this time tries to grab it out of the ruck. Gets a bit of a kick away. Marsh taking a dumping tackle from Finlay. And the breeze has really picked up here at Yarra Junction. You can see all the dust and leaves on the camera probably. So the umpire throws the ball aloft again. Monkhorst just tries to paddle it down. Shepherd's got the ball under his control. Ball heads towards the boundary line. Does it pitch in? Did it go on the full? Just pitched inside. And it will be thrown back into play at half forward for the Tigers. But this is probably going to work for Woori Yallock with the breeze really picking up. Monbulk are going to have a lot of trouble trying to exit the defensive 50. It has gotten very, very strong. So boundary throw in. Pavilion side of the ground. Up it goes. Evans gets the better of the tap down to Houston, but he's taken in the tackle straight away. And again, the ball going nowhere. And another stoppage at half forward. So the Hawks doing well enough to at least not allow any flow for Woori. But it's going to be hard to exit the defensive 50. Up it goes again. Monkhorst tries to get a bit creative. Nothing working. Huge congestion around the stoppage. And now free kick going to go the Tigers' way. Angus Smith maybe could have a shot at goal. He's got that much wind blowing over his shoulder. And he's going to back himself in, Angus Smith. So I reckon he's going to have the distance. It will be all about accuracy. The Tigers trail by 2 at the moment. Smith puts it up. Won't make the distance. Gibson is there. And it's through for a behind. So Smith can't convert. Back to 1 point the difference. 2-4-16 to the Tigers. The Hawks 2-5-17. 8 minutes gone into the second.
Absolutely. And this breeze is no joke. That last kick out that they had, Monbulk, I reckon the ball turned at right angles mid-air. It was kind of insane, to be honest. Lockie Shepherd just opting for that short kick, which I think is probably smart in these heavy conditions. And they send it long up the middle, just sort of drops down into the middle of nowhere. Really well marked by Woori Yallock there. Really well done to kick it back into the middle. So top of the 50, looking at it, Monkhorst couldn't quite get his hands on it. Off the hands of Brown, just sort of dribbles it forward. There's a chase for the footy at the moment. Into the hands. Oh, really well kicked into the pocket by that man. It was Matthews. And he's gotten it into the hands of Marsh.
Yep.
So Marsh has got quite a tough angle to deal with. He's pretty much sitting in the bench of Monbulk. So he'll have to deal with the wind and the jeers that he'll be getting from that corner of the ground. So in he comes, just the banana. Just got the belly of the ball a little bit, and then I'm kicking it straight across the face. And in fact, it's out on the full. So Monbulk will have the opportunity to take it back out of their defensive 15. They kick across goal. Thank goodness Lockie Shepherd got his hands to that one, because that was a very iffy decision, to be honest. So Shepherd got it all to do now. Just a short kick, not a bad option. Got it into the hands of Thornton. So Thornton will wheel around on the right, send it long down the line. Who's under the footy at the moment?
Oh, well done.
Uncontested footy, really well marked by Wall. So Wall going to move around on the right. Just goes the prodding kick. Didn't quite turn it over. But who's got it at the moment? It's Houston. Houston running in, handed it off, running deep into the forward 50 is Beecroft. And he's kicked it out.
He's did everything. Geordie Williams copped a bit of a stinger right in front of us, but he's back up now.
Back up. It's good to see.
Big solid knee from Cam Evans, and I can say, speaking from experience, that's not what you want, Adam.
No, certainly not. If there's someone you don't want to get hit by, there's a couple. And Cam Evans certainly up there. So at the moment, Woori Yallock got the footy, kicking into the corridor in the middle. Really well kicked, and taking the mark there was Matthews. Matthews plays on, kicks it out wide. The intended target there was Arnold, but couldn't quite get his hands to it. Chasing it down at the moment is Words, but Woori Yallock still got the footy, and then they turn it over at the top of the 50-metre arc. So really well done by Monbulk to stop the attacking press, but certainly still got to get it out of the defensive 50, which Shepherd attempts to do, kicks it out wide, and Woori Yallock got the handball out again, so they've got the footy, kicks it, dribbles inside forward 50, who's there? Gibson really wanted it, but couldn't quite get his hands to it. Gibson still applying pressure. I thought it was really well done for a moment, but getting it out of there is Lind. Really well, really well marked there by Heaven. So kicked it in forward 50, just a bit of a dribbler. Maybe he could cut it under the wing, but he couldn't quite get there. Woori Yallock got the footy at the moment. The Tigers getting all the play, but turning it over. Monbulk's got the footy at the moment. It's Lind again. Lind tried to handball it out wide, trying to get it to Thornton. Thornton couldn't quite take possession. Running after it again is Lind. Lind's doing everything in the last couple of moments. Getting on the boot there. Trying to get it to the top of the square, but just couldn't quite, so Woori Yallock have it in defence.
So Adams takes the relieving mark for the Tigers, kicks across goal and finds Polton. Polton backpedals off the mark and goes short and finds Zach Monkhorst. So the Tigers find themselves on the counter-attack, 2-4-16 to 2-5-17. The Hawks yet to score in this second quarter. They do have the breeze against them. Havern nearly able to spoil Smith. Smith wanted to go, but decided against it, and that was the right decision, because he was about to be tackled by one of the Monbulk attackers. So he looks up the line, not a whole lot coming to him. High up and under ball, the wind really takes it. Monkhorst flew with the Riley variety, couldn't stick the mark. Intercepted by Brown, goes back the other way for the Hawks. Really good kick, it was fisted away just in time though for the Tigers. Joel Adams with the ball under his control, gets a kick away, but he swung it out of bounds on the full. And the Hawks again can look to counter-attack. Who've just found a bit of momentum the last couple of minutes of Monbulk. So Ryan Burley, the recipient of the free kick, just goes short. It's fallen short of Rack. And he's penalised for holding the ball, dropping the footy. So now the Tigers on the counter-attack. So what can they do here, Woori Yallock? Thompson loads up on the right. He's turned it over, though. Straight onto the chest of Henderson of Monbulk.
My neck's starting to hurt. It's like a game of tennis.
It is a game of tennis at the moment, Adam. So can Henderson find a target? Low trajectory ball, which is the right idea against the breeze. Spills to ground level. Shepherd gathers it. Handballs it forward, but that's turned over to Brad Arnold. Oh, sorry, Mitch Arnold, in fact. And it will be a stoppage on, you guessed it, the pavilion wing. How many times have we said that today? So up it goes. Rutherford got the better of the tap. Ball comes to ground level, paddled forward by Burley. Oh, gee, good strong contest there provided by Smith. The Hawks look to go inside forward 50. Picked off by Atchison. His kick partly smothered. Angus Smith once again, been one of the best players in the ground. Moncourse dishes off to Adams. Adams takes on the corridor. Gibson in a one-on-one over his head. They should be able to go inside forward 50 of the Tigers, but beautifully done by Henderson, but he's gone, holding the ball. And Taylor Gibson, he's within range.
Kicker from there. Well, wouldn't you?
He's got it. He's definitely got the leg. And Taylor Gibson will line up for his second goal. This to get the Tigers back in front.
It's only about 50 or 55 metres, and even then with the wind, even less.
So Taylor Gibson will line them up. Man on the mark is, I reckon, at least about 46, 47. He's got to kick it about probably just over 50. Distance not beyond him. He's got the wind as well to work with. He'll set sail for home. It's an absolute floater off the boot. Monkhorst on the line, can't mark it. And suddenly the game has no leader. Scores a level 2-5-17 apiece.
It's really an odd ball path that took. It didn't spin at all in the air. It just kind of looked rather odd, to be honest.
It just floated and wobbled, didn't it, Adam?
Yeah, it really did.
So Shepherd, with the kicking duties, he's got Burley as a short option. He's going to go long. Kick will hold up a bit into the teeth of the breeze. It's fisted back the other way. Matheson provided a good contest. Gathered by Simpson. Dishes off to Polton. Polton to Angus Smith. Backwards to go forwards. Matthews gets his kick away into the pocket. Riley Moncourse can't stick the mark. Was there front on contact. Ben Moncourse keeps it in. Check side towards goal. Has missed everything.
Yeah, so, slotted it from there. I don't know what I would have done. That was a fantastic attempt.
It was not far off, but in the end, Monbulk get away with it. And scores stay level.
So Monbulk have the opportunity to take it out of defensive 50, which they've certainly struggled with saying a couple of times. Getting on the run is Shepherd. Shepherd tried to hand it off, and it was quite a high handball, so it made it pretty difficult for his teammate. Yeah, getting it down the line, and they have found a mark in the middle of the ground in that man there. Banks handed it off. Getting it down the line again. Thornton's got the footy at the moment. A big up and under kick.
Look at the wind.
Yeah, the wind's taken that to a full stop. They're almost acting like a badminton shuttlecock. It sails and it drops. It's an insane point of footy at the moment. So kicking it massive down the line. It's a 70-metre kick to Gibson. And Gibson's handed it off, giving it to Moncourse, and he's pushed it too far right.
Oh, no.
Oh, no. Oh, no. I thought did it all right, did Ben Moncourse. And again, Gibson just took the mark, and fair dinkum reckon that kick went 70 metres with that wind.
I think it did. Gibson almost just a bit too unselfish on that occasion.
Yeah, probably just needed to go back and slot that one. But again, Shepherd will have the opportunity to take it out of the top of the goal square. Tried to kick it short in the end, but it was a good decision to Finlay. But Finlay has to try and make the second decision, which has been the hardest one for them to make today. So kicks it. A bit of a short chip kick down the line. Who's under the footy at the moment? Beecroft got two hands to it, but couldn't quite take the mark as there was a massive contest. So we'll get a boundary throw in right in front of Woori Yallock's bench. And right in front of the commentary box, saying that we haven't been able to say much today. Right in front of us. So the footy thrown up once more. Who's going to win the tap this one? Bit of a flatter throw. Ends up in the hands of Evans. Got the tab. Evans got it back
the big fella
selling candy and just running around like he's not going to get tackled. And he's handballed it away. Got the footy at the moment as thought. That was an insane thing to do.
I've never seen Cam Evans do something that in my life. That was incredible.
That was amazing. It's like watching Pendlebury on the weekend. It really is.
It was.
So kicking it out wide as Woori Yallock couldn't quite get it on the full to a teammate. Lockie Beecroft running onto it. Just a bit of a shaky one off the ankle there. So inaccurate kicking being a bit of a theme in the forward half of Monbulk's of their attack in the last couple of minutes. I'm sure that wind isn't helping, but
no, it's not.
Word, and that kicking was amazing. So Woori Yallock got the footy in the moment in the hands of Angus Smith, who's played a very good game so far. Kicking just to the top of the 50, currently in the hands of Basuli. Basuli.
I think he's going to back himself in here, Adam.
I think so. I thought he was going to play on for a moment. I was getting ready to keep talking, and then he just sort of went, nah, I'm just going to back in. I'm going to back myself in. So He's had a look at goals. He's lining them up. And I do trust him from here, to be honest. It's been quite an odd goal-kicking scenario at this end of the ground. But in he comes. The wind over his shoulder. Looked pretty nice off the boot. He's got the ball spin. He just pushed it to the right again. So a bit of an odd set of circumstances at this end of the ground. I don't know if the wind's changed conditions or something like that, but it seems to be moving more laterally.
Most certainly is. So they'll bring the ball back into play. Shepherd with a kick in duties to a 1-on-1. Atchison up against Rutherford. The ball fell in front of Rutherford. Intercepted by Allen. Harvey Smith did really well. He might even have a kick for goal, but he's missed the whole lot. And it goes out of bounds on the full. And again, Monbulk with a reprieve in defence. So Savoury, the recipient, assesses the options up the line. High up and under ball. Allen will get front position. Flying in from the side was Lind. Gathered by Rack. Got his handball away just in time. And they might be away on the counter-attack. Oh, no. Hatherley missed the handball to Wentworth. And it's over the boundary line. And the Tigers, well, Monbulk had numbers out, but the handball just didn't find the target. And Woori maybe got away with one there. So a boundary throw in on the broadcast wing. Zach Munkhorst to do battle against Cam Evans. Both rucks side by side. Evans brings it down to ground. He's in a 1-on-1 against Ben Munkhorst now. Coming through is Thompson. Interesting looking handball. Geordie Williams to Basoli. Sends the Tigers inside forward 50. Gibson is there. So too Riley Munkhorst. Maybe Marsh can get it out the back. He's in a foot race. Finlay. Oh, interesting to keep it in play. Marsh kick around the body. It's gone out of bounds. He couldn't keep it in play. And the Tigers bench liked it. They thought it might have gone through, but it's going to be a boundary thrown in the forward pocket for the Tigers. So the umpire will throw the ball aloft. Up it goes. Front position was Gibson. Oh, no, he just lost the bounce of the ball. Beecroft taking in the tackle straight away. Wentworth dishes off into the hands of Declan Brown. Tries to take on the world. That's got to be holding the ball, and it is. And it looks like Geordie Williams, I think. No. And it comes across to Ben Munkhorst, who will line them up from directly in front, about 35 metres out. So Ben Munkhorst to potentially extend the margin to 8 points the difference, which would be just about the biggest lead of the game for the Tigers. Hasn't troubled the scorers with a goal as of yet. Directly in front, distance won't be a problem. It's all about accuracy. Looks pretty good off the boot, but again it fades out to the right-hand side and he's missed. So 2-8-20 now are Woori Yallock, and the kicking inaccuracy demons for both of these sides, like it was last week, playing a big factor once again.
Absolutely it is, and this could certainly play a part in the end result at the end of the match. So playing outside the square, Monbulk, just a short chip kick down the line. Getting under it at the moment. The intended target there was Havern. Havern couldn't quite get a hand to it, so they've just tapped it forward. Getting tapped was Geordie Williams. Handballed it in board. Really well done there by Monbulk. The Hawks mounting quite a decent attack, and a free kick has been paid. So Monbulk will end up with the footy for a push in the back in the hands at the moment of Spencer. So Spencer just going to short kick it towards the boundary. Oh, and a bit of a late hit. So 25 metres being paid. It's a bit of a 50-50 that one. Like is he part of the contest or not? But Thornton's certainly got the footy.
I've got to back the umpire on that one. I reckon he just got there a touch late. Yeah.
So I agree with you, but you can obviously hear the crowd reaction. Yeah, of course. It's one of those tight ones, and I think in this decision the umpire made the right call. So backing himself in is Thornton. Now the wind must have died down a little bit because it doesn't look like any trees are about to fall over. So Thornton coming in now, swinging around on the right, started at left, it's straightening up a bit as it got the journey. No, it did not.
Rushed over.
So just rushed over the line in the end. So not a bad effort from Thornton just then, but in the end didn't quite pay off. So Woori Yallock get the footy, have the opportunity to just do whatever they want with it, to be perfectly honest. So they kick it a huge up and under ball, but it's probably gone 80 metres, and it's bounced over the back of the centre square, which is huge. Monbulk running onto the footy first and getting into the hands of the defence. Oh, a bit of a weird iffy kick. Oh my word, it's flying everywhere, this footy. Getting into the hands of Woori Yallock. Not a bad kick there by Smith. It's bouncing correctly for Munkhorst, but the other Munkhorst, Riley picks it up, tries to get rid of his defender, and he's given high contact. So Riley Munkhorst will have a shot at goal. Very much tucked it up into the corner. Unfortunately for Robbie Savoury, just gave away too high, which is pretty hard to give away on such a big man in Riley Munkhorst. But he'll get a go at the goals. So just That'll do it. Maybe do that. And we're back. For all those watching at home, we just lost power momentarily.
Yep, one of the spectators just accidentally knocked out the plug. It's not the first time it's happened at Yarra Junction either. We did rope it off and they've just decided to sit in there anyway, so common sense doesn't always prevail, Adam.
No, not always, but that's okay. We did have a couple of stoppages just in that forward pocket there for Woori Yallock, so didn't miss a whole lot. So up goes the footy once more. Getting the ruck at the moment is Riley Monkhorst. I thought Cam Evans might have had an arm around him, but will be called for a secondary stoppage, so we'll have another one up at the top of the 40-metre arc. So up goes the footy once more. Monkhorst winning the tap and getting some contact over the shoulder, so Riley Monkhorst will be the beneficiary of that free kick. And Monbulk certainly have that to worry about. He's quite far out, but I don't know, this wind, and he's a big man, he can kick that far, and we are... That is the siren gone, but he will have the attempt after the siren, will Riley Monkhorst. So he will have to not stray off his mark at all, will the big man. So no wheeling around on that right boot.
No.
In he comes. Bit of an up and under kick, to be honest. I don't think it's got the distance, and it does not. So leading us into half-time. Not a bad effort from Woori Yallock in that second half, but in that second quarter, I should say, but realistically, it was the inaccurate kicking that killed them again.
Exactly right, and neither side really took advantage of that breeze in that first half at all. So 2 goals, 9-21 plays into trying to clog it up. The teams who are going with it, trying to go long. So again, Zach Monkhorst and Cam Evans do battle the ruck. Cam Evans grabs it out of the ruck, dishes off, goes out wide. Thornton tries to run under it. Will he get an accommodating bounce? He can, but he couldn't gather it cleanly. Thompson tries to win the ball on the pavilion side of the ground, and eventually it will be a stoppage at half forward. So the Hawks do gain about 30 metres, just with the ball just rolling along the ground, basically. So up it goes. Evans wins the tap. Spencer in a one-on-one. Williams sharked it. Ball heads towards the boundary line. It's kept in play by Angus Smith. Goes down the line to Dare. And it will be thrown back into play on the pavilion side of the ground.
Almost looked like Dare wanted a free kick for that one, to be honest, but probably not. It just went out of bounds.
Here we go. So it will be thrown back into play once again. So up it goes. Very high boundary thrown as well. Full short though. Maybe the breeze is playing a bit of a factor. Geordie Williams sold a bit of candy. Dished off to Noah Dare. Couldn't take it cleanly. Basoli dishes off. Anyone's ball to be won. The Tigers trying to surge inside forward 50. Harvey Smith dumps onto the right boot. Ben Monkhorst nearly took it on the chest. Taps back in towards the corridor. Can the Hawks get out of danger? Harvey Smith kick towards goal. How's the bounce? It's well and truly offline, and it trickles out of play.
It's so unfortunate with that one, in terms of just the sheer angle that it took to bounce that way. Is quite an interesting path.
There we go. So it will be thrown back into play. So the Tigers deep inside their forward 50, up against the breeze. Up it goes. Gibson in the ruck got the tap down. The Hawks get the ball out of danger, but for how long? Simpson got to the front against Houston. Monkhorst on hands and knees. Dare, or Ryan, in fact, tries to force the interception, but he's given away free kick for kicking in danger. Good decision by the umpire right there. Long kick down the line. Rutherford presents and takes the mark overhead. He'll backpedal off the mark. Doesn't want to pull the trigger just yet, but he does have the breeze behind him. Bailey Rutherford eventually sends the ball long inside forward 50. Haverns the target. Oh, Zach Monkhorst couldn't stick the mark. Allen got the ball out the back. Dishes off to Adams. Adams got it away to Harvey Smith. Gets the kick away on the right. Spencer, though, should be there to take the intercept mark, and he does. But he's given away a free kick, and the recipient will be Dare.
So Dare with the footy at the moment. Doesn't really know what to do with it, so he hands it off right into the hands there of Ryan. So Ryan kicks it down the line. Trying to find a set of hands. In fact, he does in Gibson. Gibson, just a short little chip kick. Pretty well done right there to Simpson. Simpson, low penetrating kick to Ben Monkhorst, and that's a very well marked ball. And pretty good pressure being put on by Monbulk as well, but really well marked. So Ben Monkhorst will have the opportunity to go back. And he'll get an opportunity to kick a goal. He didn't look particularly sure of himself when he got up, but I wonder if that's just him copping that later hit. But he does look like he will line him up now. So as he just takes his time, as he comes in, I was going to say kicking against the wind, but doesn't look particularly strong. It drops it short actually. He goes to pass it off, and really well marked there by Gibson. So just all on his own. You could see he presented a bit of a lead and just kicked it to him. And it was quite a simple one in the end, and he's got a much better angle and a much better distance that he has to cover. So probably only 20 metres out directly in front. So Gibson for his 92nd of this season.
Yes, that's it, Adam.
And so certainly we'll be looking forward to putting this one through. I would have thought both himself and Woori Yallock to extend that lead that they've got at the moment. In he comes. Looks a lot more sure of himself from here. See if he can strike the ball well. Comes in and kicks it. And there was no mistaking about that, was there? Really, really well done. He has hit the car that's parked directly behind the goals, but I don't know what you expect him parking there. It is really well done. 92 goals for the 2025 season, and Woori Yallock extend their margin.
3-9-27 out of 2-6-18. Biggest third of the game so far for the Tigers. So wait for the ball to come back into the middle. So Taylor Gibson with his second goal of the afternoon, as Adam mentioned, 92 for 2025, 8 away from the ton.
Absolutely it is. So we'll get the footy back into the middle, and if he gets motoring, maybe he can give himself a real good shot of that ton this season. That'd be fantastic to see, wouldn't it? So up goes the footy once more. Winning the tap there, just shoved out of it was Evans. So Monkhorst just grabbed it out of the ruck and sent it forward and found Ben Monkhorst. So Ben Monkhorst has a look around and he just jumps on that right foot. Looks like he kicks it to the top of the square. Who's there to mark it? Oh, flowed really well, did Gibson, but couldn't quite get his hands on it. Putting on pressure, and he won the tackle too, so holding the ball. And I believe it'll be Taylor Gibson who gets the benefit of that one. Just put on amazing pressure and didn't let anyone else get in his way. He really wanted that third goal. There's a couple of whistle-blowing formalities that's happening.
Oh, hang on. It's a free kick on the other way now.
Over. Oh, okay. That's rather an odd situation. I didn't see what maybe the free kick was for. And certainly Monbulk are going to benefit for it as they kick it to the wing into the hands of Beecroft. Beecroft kicks it down the line and has turned it over into the hands of Joel Adams. So quite an odd situation, wasn't it, Aidan?
I have no idea what happened there, Adam. But anyway, Joel Adams with the ball in hand. Low trajectory ball. Mark is taken by Thompson on the pavilion side wing. He continues to go short, so a slow, methodical build-up for Woori Yallock, which is probably the right way to go up against the breeze. Importantly, with a 9-point advantage. Crucial in a low-scoring game. High up and under ball this time from Smith. Gibson gets to the front. Nearly had it, couldn't quite stick it. Ball comes to ground level. Banks paddles the ball in front of himself. Was he tripped? Yes, he was. Well, no, it's a free kick going the other way for Woori Yallock.
I think it was the other way, Payne kick in danger for the guy who's on the ground. Just had the Monbulk player run over him.
So Monkhorst behind the footy and he's got ball in hand. He's got Joel Smith back in towards the corridor, but he chips it short to Atchison. Atchison backpedals off the marker for Vern. Now he will pull the switch out to Smith. He's got Joel Adams on the outer side. So too Simpson. Simpson's where he decides to go. Wentworth got front position. Simpson couldn't stick the mark. Wentworth pounces, dishes off, and they might be away here, the Hawks. Burley finds Houston. But Hunter Ryan wouldn't let him go anywhere. Comes back to Ryan Burley. Did the tackle linger too long? Umpire calls him to go, and eventually a high contact free kick will go the way of Wentworth. So Wentworth needs to get up and move the ball quickly. Dishes off to Shepherd. Shepherd being corralled by Monkhorst. Sends the ball inside forward. 50. No mark can be taken. Hatherley can't keep it in play. And the ball will be thrown back into play in the forward pocket for the Hawks, who are suddenly winning a bit of territory. Can they get the responding goal? Get it back to 3 points the difference. They've got the breeze behind them. So Zach Monkhorst will attend the ruck contest. Bailey Rutherford gets to the front, taps it down. Lockie Beecroft, can he get away? Gets a kick onto the left, and it bounces home! Beecroft has nailed it. Can you believe that?
Oh, my word. He's had a couple of goes of those ones today, just those left foot snap dribble kicks, and that one's worked out fantastically, and it's really well done there from Beecroft, weaving it between everybody.
Gee, you just can't believe Woori didn't get a touch on that one. He didn't quite get the leverage on the kick, but it bounced on home. And the Hawks trimmed the margin back down to 3 points. And Lockie Beecroft, he's just made for finalist footy.
Of course he is.
He's a real playmaker. He gets his first goal for the afternoon and keeps his side in the game in a low-scoring affair. So back in the middle, up it goes. Zach Monkhorst against Cam Evans. Cam Evans gets the better of the tap. Shark by Thompson. Ball comes to ground level. Busting through the pack was Matheson. Williams gets the ball under his control. Has he turned it over? Not for the moment. Riley Monkhorst gets a kick away onto the left, looking for Marsh. Can't gather the football. Tap back inside the forward 50, and eventually Monbulk get out of danger, but for how long? It's a foot race to the ball. Smith, I think she'll get there first. Grimes, though, will keep him corralled. Smith gets his kick away. Up and under ball down the line, and the intercepting mark is taken by Burley.
So Monbulk with the footy at the moment at just about half back. Just going back is Burley. Burley kicking it out wide. Just taking his time. Monbulk want to play this game slowly at the moment. They've played quite quick a couple of times. It hasn't quite worked out, so they bombed it deep inside forward 50, and unfortunately that one goes out of the full. So Woori Yallock will have the chance to exit the defensive 50 from the boundary line. Hands in the footy of the Tigers at the moment. It depends what they can do on this counter-attack. This could change the game. Just a bit of an up and under kick. It fell quite short. Ended up in the hand. Oh, not quite in the hands of anybody. I thought that maybe that player just got a bit of a head knock, but popped straight up, and apparently he's fine. So we're all good. We have a stoppage at the top of the forward 50. Up goes the footy once more. Tap won by Monkhorst, but only just. Got it in the hands. Do the Hawks. Adams got the footy at the moment, and he's being attacked. Couldn't quite get rid of it in a clean manner, and it's ended up over the boundary line, about 20 metres out from the goals. So Monbulk in a very dangerous position here at the moment, and it'll certainly be about what they can do at the bottom of this ruck contest. So in comes the footy once more. Evans and Monkhorst. In fact, it's not Evans. Evans has been subbed out for that man there, Rutherford. So Rutherford tapped it down. Evans got the footy at the moment, and there'll be another ball up. So I wonder what they'll do this time. I just assumed Evans would be in it, and apparently he wasn't. So in it comes, and Evans doing this one. So Evans won the tap that time, couldn't quite gain possession. Ducking into headlong would be Wall. And we'll have another stoppage as the umpire circles around the contest. So just quite a heavy stoppage game, which I think Woori Yallock are quite happy to play. Yep. They've been playing quite well in that stoppage-based game, especially in defence. So up goes the footy once more. Tap down one by Evans, and again just sharked and immediately tackled. And this is, we'll go for take 4 of this particular stoppage. So up goes the footy again. Tap, won by Monkhorst, who can gain, huge hit, Grimes, and holding the ball, just tried to, high contact free kick. High contact free kick going the way of Grimes. He tried to run through everybody. And blood rule. Blood rule. So this is absolutely, you can see it there. So it was a huge contest. Grimes took on everybody and just couldn't quite get rid of the footy, but was taken high in the contest. So he will line up for goal. About 37 metres out is the man on the mark. Probably has to kick it from about 42. So in he comes. Over the head of the man on the mark. Ball flight looks nice. Distance isn't a problem. And neither was the accuracy. So that's the first goal for Ben Grimes. And Monbulk are back in it.
They're back in front, Adam. Fourth lead change of the game. And speaking of the ruck battle, it's been interesting because Bailey Rutherford usually chops out Cam Evans quite a bit, but Cam Evans has done, I'd say, 95%, if not maybe even more, the ruck duties today. So don't know if Rutherford's maybe pulled up a bit sore and they're just playing him purely forward, but yeah, it's a bit of an interesting one, that, as the ball comes back into the middle. So Monbulk get the lead back, taking a bit more advantage of the breeze in this second quarter. Their second goal in this quarter. 3:9:27 Woori Yallock to 4:6:30 Monbulk. So it's back in the middle. Up it goes. Neither ruck got a tap on it. Monkhorst eventually gets the ball under his control. Dishes it off. Matheson slaps it towards the boundary line. It's a foot race. Thumped away by Arnold, who can gather the ground level ball. Huge numbers around the contest. The ball spilled out momentarily, then it was knocked back in, and the umpire calls for a ball up. Yet another stoppage on the pavilion wing. The ball's just lived over there today as the sun pops out momentarily here at Yarra Junction. Haven't seen too much of it today. Up it goes. Evans gets the better of the tap. Into the hands of Banks, but he's tackled straight away and the ball going nowhere. Yet another stoppage. So can the Tigers get the responding goal? Can the Hawks extend the margin? Up it goes again. Riley Monkhorst gets the better of the tap, nearly sharked by Declan Brown, but it was thumped away from him. He goes in for seconds. Lynn gets involved. And it will be another ball up on the pavilion wing. It is an absolute gridlock out there at the moment. So Evans and Riley Monkhorst again will go at it in the ruck. Up it goes. Monkhorst probably got the better of that one. Mitch Arnold gets his kick away to a 1-on-1. Gibson, can he break away from his opponent? No, he can't. Basoli desperately trying to keep it in place. Socket forward. Might this work out for the Tigers? Gathered by Savoury. Gets his kick away. Long up and under ball. Geordie Williams pucks himself underneath it. Couldn't stick the mark. Wentworth gather the ground level ball. Sends it to about half forward. Shepherd. Can he take the mark? Yes, he can. Beautifully done, Lockie Shepherd. He's got Hatherley in a 1-on-1 if he spots him. That's where he goes. And Hatherley's taken the mark. And he'll line them up from about 25 out on a pretty tight angle. This to potentially extend the margin to 9 points. So Ziggy Hatherley with a big moment in this game, and they did that well, the Hawks, end to end. And Hatherley in the 1-on-1 won the foot race to the ball against Atchison from a similar spot to where Jethro Von Hess sealed the game for Linda Ferny Creek last week with a drop punt. Looks pretty good off the boot. Just offline, just to the left-hand side. Ziggy Hatherley couldn't convert. 4-7-31 now to 3-9-27. 14 minutes gone into the third quarter.
So the Tigers get the opportunity to kick it down the middle of the ground. Couldn't quite find a set of hands on the full. So here come the Tigers. Smith roved it up. Just kicked a little bit of an up and under ball. Tried to get their hands on it. The Woori Yallock Tigers. But Monbulk have got the footy at the moment. Beecroft, just a weird creative kick around his opponent. Oh my word, almost really well done there by Hatherley, but just turned it over a bit. But the Tigers are still trying to get out of defence, and that is, no, couldn't quite take the mark. Good that man there in Smith. So handballed it off. Harvey Smith again, kicked it down the line, but it's going to end up in the Hawks' possession. Couldn't take it cleanly. Good that man there, Wirtz kicks it forward. And cops a bit of a hit for his troubles. Did
good
that man
mark
there
by
by Houston, exactly right. So Houston took quite a good mark, overhead mark, and then just caught one in the back. Which, you know, no 25 paid, so still has to kick this from about 48-ish, maybe a bit less. There is a very, very tall man in Riley Monkhorst on the mark, so you do have to allow the couple of extra metres for that. But he will line them up, and he looks relatively confident, I'd say, Houston. Still probably on a high from the goal he kicked earlier, which was fantastic.
Yep.
And in he comes. Jeez, he got some speed on him. And he's just sailed it a bit right. So, unfortunately for Monbulk, still not taking advantage of their attacks on goal. Just the 4 goals kicked for the game. And still in a bit of an iffy position at the moment. So the Tigers kick it out of defence through the hands there of Allen. So he tried to kick it, turned over. Who's got it at the moment? He's kicked inside forward 50, and it's just sort of taken over the line by Geordie Williams. So again, the Tigers playing a really good defensive game. So
boundary throw in at half forward here for Monbulk. 5 points in the lead. 4-8-32 to 3-9-27. Zach Monkhorst, Bailey Rutherford will attend this ruck contest. He gets front position on Monkhorst. Monkhorst probably got the better of the tap. Gemmell tries to run onto the footy. Williams got there first, but he slipped over and the ball trickles over the line, and it will be another boundary throw in. So the Tigers gain a little bit of meterage, but not much. Now Riley Monkhorst will attend this ruck contest, still up against Bailey Rutherford. So we wait for the umpire to throw the ball back into play. Can the Tigers get the next one? Regain the lead. Up it goes. Monkhorst to the front. Probably got the better of the tap too. Shark by Brown. Kick partly smothered. Chance for Burley. Intercepted though by Angus Smith. Handball back towards the corridor. He had to gather his own handball. Ran into a brick wall and another stoppage. The gridlock on the pavilion side continues. So the umpire will throw the ball aloft. Riley Monkhorst and Bailey Rutherford again to do battle. Neither ruck really got a tap on it. Sort of just fell off the back of Riley Monkhorst. Geordie Williams, that's a good strong tackle. Not allowing Monbulk to go inside forward 50. And again, a stoppage on the pavilion side at half forward for Monbulk. So the umpire will throw the ball aloft again. Up it goes. Monkhorst just bodied out his opponent, and he's won a free kick for a hold. So Woori can get out of danger. Can Riley Monkhorst find a target with the breeze against him? It just starts to pick up a little bit again. Probably at the worst possible time for Riley Monkhorst, just as he gets the ball in his hands. Brings it back in towards Matthews into the corridor. Smith provided an option round the back for a handball, but he goes out wide to Joel Adams. So they've successfully pulled the switch. Can Joel Adams find a target up the line? Yes, he can. But beautifully done by Thornton. Cut across in time, fisted it over the boundary line. And it will be a stoppage right in front of our broadcast position here at Yarra Junction. So the Hawks locking it in their end of the ground. Can they find another goal, though, and extend this margin? Boundary throw in. Up it goes. Monkhorst to the front. Couldn't get a hand on it. Rutherford will chase it. Beecroft gets there first. Lockie Beecroft already got one. It's well and truly offline. And misses everything but a boundary throw into the forward pocket. Not a terrible result for Monbulk.
Certainly not. I'll take that.
Yep, much better than a behind. Doesn't turn the... Unless it has gone out of bounds in the full, has it? Atchison seems to be waiting for the... I think it's gone on the full. Never mind.
Yeah, okay, well...
So maybe a behind would have been a better result than they would have scored.
Yeah, maybe. They would have scored.
There we go.
Oh, well.
Never mind me. So Jacob Atchison will line up on the right boot. High up and under ball to Hupp. Oh, it was a big fly from the back from Brown. He couldn't stick the mark, and probably a free kick rightly paid for an unrealistic attempt.
Most certainly.
Simpson dishes off to Hunter Ryan. Oh, he did well. Stepped around Wentworth. Gets his kick away through the corridor. Oh, no. Polton slipped over at the wrong time. Thornton takes the intercepting mark, and they're all telling him to go. Thornton not confident with the distance. Being corralled by Monkhorst. Dishes off to Spencer. Spencer also being corralled. Stepped around one. He dishes off. Lind couldn't gather the ball cleanly. It's not Lind. In fact, it's Grimes. Ball heads towards the boundary line. Trickles over, and it will be thrown back into play for Monbulk on the broadcast side of the ground.
Absolutely, we will. So another throw-in inside 50. This game has been full of them today, and neither team has been been able to capitalise on that, but it's certainly opportunities are being presented. So up goes the footy once more. Who's going to win the tap down? Monkhorst gets front position, but it gets it at the back, did Evans. Tapped it forward, getting in the hands of Grimes. Grimes trying to dance around the world. Smothered the kick off Angus Smith too. So kicked it around the corner. Top of the square. And it'll be a rush through for a behind for Monbulk. So another one, not a bad effort from, I believe it was Rack, who kicked it around the corner. I thought he might have made it through the middle, or at least gotten the mark in the goal square. There was a couple of players there, but unfortunately not. So Woori have the opportunities. Not a single Monbulk player putting on any pressure, so they just kick it out wide. There's quite a few Hawks here, though, so they try and get the footy out wide. Angus Smith got the footy.
Oh, here we go. They're over the back.
And they're out the back. There's no one around. Handballed off to the middle. Gemmell kicked it inside to Monkhorst. Monkhorst got it on the bounce, so he just chipped it in the middle. And,
well done.
My word.
25.
And 25, surely. No.
Ooh.
A bit stiff for Woori Yallock there, I would have thought, but you know what? The ball's in a pretty good spot.
Yep.
They're directly in front. They're about 30 metres out, and it's in the hands of Noah Dare. So I trust this all day, to be honest. So Dare, obviously, coming off quite a good game last week.
Well, he kicked the goal that put him in front late in the game, but well done to Ben Monkhorst as well. Good vision.
Yes, exactly right. A really good kick and just really accurate. So in he comes Dare. Dare on the boot. Oh, and he shanked it off the shin. It's gone absolutely nowhere. The Tigers still have an opportunity to rope this one up, and they've got the footy at the moment on the left boot. Oh, he couldn't have kicked that, could Taylor Gibson? Oh, my word. That is a fantastic goal from Taylor Gibson. Oh, my goodness me. That's fantastic. Oh, just didn't... No, nothing went right for that set shot just there, and it's just worked out perfectly. Gibson just picked it up, knew what to do, could dance around his opponent, snapped it onto the left foot and just stuck him through the middle of the sticks. So really well done from Taylor Gibson, and quite a well recovered situation. Unfortunately for Dare, I reckon it's come off his knee and just ended up just a bit of a chunked golf shot, to be honest. Just sent it about 10 metres in front of him along the floor. Big boys aren't
supposed to be able to do that.
No, certainly not. That's a small forward pocket.
Yep, and he's 7 away from the ton.
Absolutely, he's 93 for the year. Up goes the footy in the middle once more. Winning the tap there, I'd say, is Monkhorst. Tapping it down in the hands at the moment of Thompson. Thompson kicked it forward, looking for that man there, Marsh. Marsh trying to run it before it gets to the boundary line. Handballed it back over his head, but it ends up in the hands of Monbulk. Monbulk kick it down the line, and really well there marked by Hatherley. So Hatherley gets it on the right boot. Just a bit of a short chip kick and just intercepted there by Polton. Polton has had a pretty good game so far today, I'd say. Just really showing up in this defence just as a small man. So he kicked it across the face of goal, which was a bit of an odd decision, but it worked out in the end. Kicked it again. Ended up in the hands of Robbie Allen. Again, someone who had quite a good game last week, I'd say. Robbie Allen on the right boot. Just a bit of a short chip kick, and you can hear the wind starting to intensify again. But who's got the ball at the moment? It's Monbulk. Oh, no, and a bit of a drop mark there from Josh Rack. Grimes trying to track it down. Who's got it at the moment? Is that Brown? Oh, he couldn't have kicked that. Oh, just hit it a bit thin. Brown, again, had a really big impact on this game in the first quarter, but... You know, he's back in this third quarter, plays really well with the wind apparently. Kicking it across the line is Woori Yallock, and they'll just settle in defence.
That's it. So it's back to 1 point the difference. The Hawks with a slender lead nearing three-quarter time. Zach Munkhorst kicks across goal. Robbie Allen, the wind was taking the ball away from him, but he got there. Simpson provides a lead. That's where Allen goes. He'll have to park himself underneath it. Was there a chop of the arms? Umpire calls him to go. Simpson being corralled, gets the handball away to Arnold. Arnold gets another handball away. They go down the line. Marsh provides a lead. Couldn't stick the mark. Matthews did well, provided a good contest. Picked off by Robbie Savoury. Did the tackle linger too long? Yes, it did. Thompson not happy, and Robbie Savoury will be the recipient of the free kick. Just 1 point separates the sides. 23 and a half gone into the third quarter. Robbie Savoury assesses the options down the line. He'll wheel onto that left boot of his. He'll send the Hawks inside forward 50. Haver, the target flew, but he can't take the mark. Here's a chance for Brown. Oh, was it a free kick for an unrealistic attempt? There we go. So Woori will get out of danger for the moment. Adams the recipient. Oh, interesting one, but Geordie Williams got down nice and low and took the mark. Gee. Couple of nervous moments there for the Tigers. Geordie Williams, not in any particular hurry, goes all the way back to Smith of the Joel variety. So three-quarter time must be fast approaching. Woori one. Oh, no, this is dangerous, but Zach Munkhorst eventually gets the ball back under his control. Oh, the big fella steps around his opponent, gets the kick down the line, turned over. Wirtz couldn't stick the intercept mark. Through comes Polton. The Hawks desperately want to get one more before three-quarter time, but the Tigers with a takeaway. They get the kick moving down the line. Gibson presents to the football, gathers it cleanly, dishes off to Thompson. Thompson through the corridor, long kick. Marsh can't take the mark. Ball comes to ground level. Was he taken off of it? Through comes Noah Dare. He dishes off, but he's turned it over. Alex Marshall has a good strong tackle, and it will be a ball up inside the forward 50 of the Tigers. With a good counter-attacking play. And they might be able to pinch the lead before three-quarter time if someone can snap out of the pack. Gibson thumps it forward, sharked by Shepherd, gets a kick away. It's a foot race to the ball. It looks like Smith should get there first. There's an appeal for insufficient intent. And nothing forthcoming. The appeal turned down. So a boundary throw in pavilion side of the ground. 25 gone in the third quarter. 1 point separates the sides. The Hawks with a slender margin. Riley Munkhorst in the ruck. Zach Evans back out there for the Hawks. Munkhorst to the front. Evans gets the better of the tap. Ball comes to ground level and the Hawks are away. Spencer gets the kick onto the right. Fisted away from Joel Adams. Oh, the mark is taken. Hewson with front position and the siren's gone, and Ben Hewson will load up with a barrel. He's got absolutely none of it though, and that will do us for three-quarter time here at Yarra Junction Memorial Reserve, and it is a 1 point ball game. Woori Yallock 4-9-33 to Monbulk 4-10-34, and Adam, this game is on a side. Will be hungry as ever. A couple of preliminary final exits in 24 and 23, a grand final loss in 22. They want to make amends. Monbulk want to go all the way through, and final quarter action is underway. Zach Munkhorst and Cam Evans to do battle. Evans wins the first hit out of the final quarter. It's sharked by Angus Smith, who's been brilliant all day. Evans with ball in hand. He dishes off. Thompson, can he get the ball under his control? Gathered by Hatherley. He gets it away. They can go inside forward 50. Nick Wall with a check side. Oh, the mark can't be taken. They might get numbers out the back here, the Hawks. Check side towards goal from Rutherford. It's touched on the line. Can it be kept in play? Eventually it finds its way over the bandrel, and Rutherford, it hung in the air and it wobbled away. Oh, goodness gracious me.
Did everything right except go through the sticks.
Pretty much. Boundary throw and deep inside the forward 50 of the Hawks. High and up and under ball. Munkhorst grabs it out of the ruck. No, he spilled it at the last moment. No one getting this ball out, and the umpire has to call for a ball up. It is going to be a tense last quarter. Heartbeats will be pumping everywhere in this ground at the moment. Here's a chance for the Hawks. They can't gather it cleanly though. And the ball...
Free kick.
It's a free kick going the Hawks' way. Can you believe it? It was rushed over the line, but I think a free kick for a push has been paid. And Monbulk will get the first say through Josh Wentworth in this last quarter. This to potentially extend the margin to 7 points, which in the context of this game and how low scoring it's been, would be so crucial. Josh Wentworth, distance won't be a problem. He's only 15 metres out on a side angle, and he comes, and he puts it away, and the Hawks out to a 7 point break. A minute and a half gone into the final quarter. 5-10-40 to 4-9-33.
Oh my goodness me, that is absolutely the start you want if you are a part of the Monbulk Hawks, and oh my goodness. 7 points, as you said, Aiden, means so much in the context of this game, and the way that they've been playing, this isn't a game that I feel like is going to blow out at any point. I think that this is going to go down right to the wire, and that's the start that you wanted if you're in the maroon.
It most certainly will, Adam. Woori need to respond. They'll want to get the next one because I reckon a 2-goal margin, the way this game's been played, is going to be very hard to overcome. So it's back in the middle. Up it goes. Evans gets the better of the tap. Through comes Beecroft. Can he get his handball away? No, he can't. Woori appeal for ball, but the umpire says no, it will just be a ball up.
So, in the moment, footy in the centre of the goal, in the circle, I should say. Up goes the footy once more. Cam Evans thought he tried to win the tap down, but Monkhorst beat him to it. So Woori play forward. Gibson tried to dish off the handball, just missed his mark. A little bit at the moment. The Tigers dancing around the world is no Adair. And he's just giving it to the left side. So it's a 6-point game. Oh, there's a whistle. There's a whistle on the ground.
I think it's a blood rule.
It's a blood rule.
Yep.
Yes, it is. So, oh my word, I thought that might turn something very interesting.
Yeah, I thought it might have been a free kick to Woori or something.
Free kick, exactly right. So we are at a 6-point flat ball game. There's just 1 goal in this. And the next behind scored may end up being the good old handy point. Same might be coming out of the back pocket.
100%.
But the Monbulk Hawks have it at the moment. Kick it out wide to the wing. Couldn't quite find a set of hands. Who's marked to Woori? Yallock? Joel Adams has it at the moment. Kicks it short. Just trying to find. Couldn't quite find a team out in the full. It's just bounced off the hands. Hawks have it at the moment. Handballed it out wide, but he's just turned it over. Who's got the footy? I'd say probably held off if it was Marsh, but the umpire calls him to go. Monbulk got the footy still, and really well smothered. I think it was Marsh again.
Basoli.
And it was Basoli, in fact. But really, really well done.
Great effort by the skipper.
Yeah, it really was. So, Monbulk still have it all to fight for. Woori Yallock still proving that they've got it in the bag. Up goes the footy once more. Who's going to win the ruck contest? Cam Evans got the tap down. Who's got the footy at the moment? Wirtz tried to duck through everybody and just got tackled immediately. And the pressure is sky high at the moment. So the umpire will have to ball the ball up once more. Up goes the footy at the top of the arc. Who's going to win the tap down? Monkhorst wins it initially and then picks it up his own work. Roves around everybody and Geordie Williams can't quite track it to the boundary. And there'll be another boundary throw-in, which maybe might help space things out a little bit because everyone knows how, the boundary throw-ins can gain a lot more space.
Yep.
So we'll see how the umpire will deal with this one. Up goes the footy once more. And this is a serious, serious contest to win. Who's going to win the Rove? We've got the Tigers onto it at the moment. Adams picking it up. Smith trying to get his hands on it and just couldn't quite. In fact, it was Smith both times. Joel to Angus. So we'll have another stoppage. So just however many stoppages we've had, times it by 100.
Yep.
And Monkhorst wins the tap there. Try to get his hands on the footy there. Basoli. Basoli keeps it in. Tries to tap it back in bounds and it's worked. Hasn't gone over the line quite yet and there it goes. So just really don't want to get it out of that pocket, do they, Adam?
Nope, it's a gridlock inside the forward 50 of Woori Yallock. They're locking it in their end, but they need to get this next goal. They're only a goal behind. They can potentially level the scores. So boundary throw in deep inside the forward 50 on the broadcast side of the ground. Riley Monkhorst gets front spot, tries to soccer it forward. Marsh nearly got a kick out of the pack. It was smothered just in time for the Hawks. Close quarters. Was there a hold? The umpire has paid a hold. It's going Monbulk's way. So the Hawks can exit the defensive 50 and this might just clear up some of the congestion. So it's probably going to come to the pavilion side where all the numbers are. High up and under ball. Rutherford will contest against Monkhorst. Banks came in from the side. Here's a chance. Can Wentworth get the ball under his control? Will he get the accommodating bounce? He did, but he was taken in a gang tackle. Umpire calls him to go. Through comes Atchison. Arnold provides the contest. The ball taken over the boundary line and another stoppage. Living on the pavilion side of the broadcast side of the ground on this occasion, in this quarter, which us commentators are very thrilled with. Makes it a lot easier for us to call the game. It is rare.
It certainly does.
Boundary throw in, broadcast wing. A goal in it. Up it goes. Evans gets to the front. Got a fingertip on it. Banks taken to the tackle by Williams straight away. That ball going nowhere again. And it will be another stoppage. This time a ball up on the broadcast wing. So Monkhorst and Cam Evans, who've done battle for most of the day. Monkhorst probably got the better of that one. The ball trickles into the corridor and Cam Evans is away. Dumps the ball onto the right boot. Havard, he can't quite take the mark, gets the handle away, but he's turned it over straight into the hands of Joel Smith, who wants to take him on, goes to the outer side of the ground. Ben Monkhorst gets the ball under his control, steps around Lind, again goes back the other way, kick onto the right. Can Basoli get there? No, he can't. Oh, Gibson slipped over at the wrong time. And the Hawks are out of danger, but for how long? Hoare did get it onto Thornton. Oh, but well done, Ben Monkhorst. Couldn't quite take the ball cleanly in the end. It was a good enough contest, though. Thornton again gets the kick away on the right. High up and under ball. Rutherford will fly. He can't take the mark. Fisted away by Allen. Ball stays in play momentarily. And eventually the umpire calls for a ball up over on the pavilion side of the ground. 7.5 gone in the final quarter. 6 points the difference. 5:10:40 Monbulk to 4:10:34 Woori Yallock. Up it goes again. Evans grabs out of the ruck, but his kick was smothered. Ball heads towards the boundary line, and it makes its way over, and it will be thrown back into play. Woori desperately want the next one. A 12-point margin would be a big deficit to overcome in the context of this game. It's been low scoring all day, and that probably won't change. The wind has played havoc. The sun does come out at Yarra Junction. Evans taps it back in the wrong direction. The Hawks do gather the football, but for how long? Noah Dare doing everything that he can, but he can't get the ball away, and the umpire calls for yet another stoppage on the pavilion wing.
So on the pavilion wing now, the umpire gets the ball up in the air. Who's going to win the tap down? I think Monkhorst won it, but ended up in the hands of the Hawks. Monbulk running after the footy at the moment. Unfortunately, running past it was Burley. And there will be a stoppage right in the middle of the cricket pitch. So we'll get another one right in the middle, and this has been such an even matchup in the ruck today. It's been such a difficult task for both rucks. So up goes the footy. In fact, now it's two completely different ruckmen. I was going to say Evans and Monkhorst just out of habit, but in fact it was Monkhorst and it was Havern. But end up in the hands of Woori Yallock, who's kicked it forward. Who's there? It's Gibson. Gibson's handed it off. And who's going to kick that one there?
Marsh.
And Marsh has absolutely nailed that one. So scores are level. Can you believe this, Aiden?
5:10:40 apiece. No, I can't, Adam. Although maybe I can. It's been close all day. Woori get the responding goal that they needed. Alex Marsh, the vice skipper, steps up to the plate. And this game is on an absolute knife edge. Could we see extra time, Adam? Who knows?
I was going to say, I was thinking about pulling the rules up in about 10 minutes just to see if I could talk through them again. But no, it's been such a fantastic game. It's had everything about it. And again, we've seen Taylor Gibson hand off the easy one. And it's worked out rather well in their favour this time.
I believe it's going to be 2 3-minute halves if it does go to extra time, and then I think it's a repeated process as the ball's back in the middle, Adam.
Yeah, something like that. I guess we'll see, won't we? Umpire throws the footy up in the middle. Winning the tap was Havern, and who can run onto it? Not Monbulk. Tripping over there, I believe it was Wall. And we'll have another stoppage. So we'll have take 2 in the centre circle. So the umpire's going to have to do it all over again. As we grab the footy. Up it goes once more in the middle of the ground. Who's going to win this one? Havern couldn't quite get there, so Monkhorst just taps it sideways and we'll have another stoppage. There will be 0 movement. It's probably a total of about 2 metres. So here we go again. Up goes the footy once more. Monkhorst gets the tap. And it's tapped back into the centre. Who can run onto it? Havern gets a bump from the side, running around everyone. Really well done there from Matheson. Kicks into the forward pocket. Marsh trying to track it down. Shepherd beat it to him, but Marsh still putting up pressure. And really well done. So there will be a stoppage in the forward 50 again. And
yep.
Oh, it's been such a stoppage-heavy game. And I know they're going in this direction where the wind's been flowing all day to the southern end of the ground. But still nothing going the way. So here comes the kick. Can it quite go through the... Oh, my word. I thought it was going to be a random kick out of the pack. I didn't actually see who kicked it. It was just too embedded in the contest. But we'll certainly have Lockie Shepherd taking it out of the goal square.
Yep. So 5th lead change of the game. Shepherd sends the ball down the line. Gibson got the fist in. Can he keep the ball in play? He can, but the ball not going to go anywhere. And no, it does trickle over the boundary line, in fact.
Not particularly helped by his own teammate who took out his legs in that occasion.
So only 1 point separates the sides. Woori Yallock have regained the lead. 5:11:41 to 5:10:40. Up it goes. Monkhorst gets to the front, taps it inside the forward 50. Dare couldn't take it cleanly. Has the ball been dragged back in? The umpire says no, it will just be a ball up just inside the forward 50 of Woori Yallock. So now suddenly the Hawks find themselves in arrears. Up it goes. Havern went early. Monkhorst won the tap. Anyone's ball to be won. Burley gets it to the outer side to Brown, but his kick was smothered, and the Tigers keep it in. Marsh, who kicked the goal to level it. Mitch Arnold on hands and knees, and the umpire calls for the ball up. Oh, it is a hot, hot contest here at Yarra Junction. The sun pops out, the wind's still there. It is anyone's ball game. Up it goes. Monkhorst got the better of the tap. Oh, good strong tackle was laid on Thompson. Will it stay in play? There is so many numbers around the contest.
Genuinely looks like about 20 players surrounding the footy at the moment.
In fact, at the moment, Adam, there is not a single player forward to centre for Monbulk. Everyone in Woori Yallock's end of the ground right now. Can you believe that? So it's another stoppage. It'll be a boundary throw in. Up it goes. Evans to the front. Taps it back the other way. Oh, Rack can't get the ball in his control. Thompson kick out of the pack. Savoury. Robbie Savoury has saved the day for the moment for Monbulk. A crucial intercept mark. He gets them out of the defensive 50, but for how long? High up and under ball. He's turned it over. It's gone out of bounds on the full. This could potentially be a shot at goal for the Tigers with the wind behind them. Who will be the recipient? It looks like it'll be Malachi Polton. So Polton, the recipient of the free kick. I don't think he looks confident with the distance. Gibson provides a lead. He goes beyond him though. And it bounces through for a behind. Goodness gracious me, it's 2 points the difference now. A slight extension of the lead. But still every chance for Monbulk to potentially steal it. So Lockie Shepherd to bring the ball back into play. Look at the tornado in front of us here, Adam. The wind is playing all sorts of havoc. Shepherd has a bounce. He could even have a second. Gets the kick away. The ball hugs the boundary line. It's out of bounds in the full again. Can you believe it? And Woori Yallock again can re-enter the forward 50.
These up and under kicks is about the one thing you can't do with the wind playing up on that side of the ground.
Exactly right. The ball's going to come back with interest. So who's going to be the recipient this time?
Can't see that far.
Oh, I can't. We'll get the binoculars out. It's not doing a lot of favours for me.
Oh, he's passing it off anyway.
Here we go. It's Hamish Gemmell who will be the recipient. So Gemmell, I don't think he won't line up for goal. He's way too far out. A kick and a half away from home. Havern into the back pocket and takes the intercepting mark. And Monbulk again repel the attack of Woori Yallock.
So Monbulk with the footy at the moment. Havern all the way in full back. Something we haven't seen a whole lot of today. Kicks it to the just outside of 50. Couldn't quite take a mark. So the Tigers have another opportunity here. Running through the pack there was Ryan. Ryan handballed it forward. It's still bouncing around in the pack. Gemmell's got the footy at the moment, but they've been penalised for a throw. So Monbulk have the footy. So it's in the hands of Wentworth. Wentworth will just have to assess his options. He knows that he can't go the big up and under kick, but he hugs it to the boundary line in the low penetrating one. No mark can be taken, but it's been paid a push. So Woori Yallock will have a free kick and an opportunity to enter their forward 50. But it's in their hands. Oh, I thought they were going to give it to Gibson. But Gibson should just make his way inside the forward 50. I think it'd be the smart idea. So a long ball inside the forward 50. Can there be a mark over the back? And who's kicked him? But Marsh! Marsh over the back, and he's kicked a beauty in the goal square. Really well done there. I thought maybe Monkhorst was going to get on the end of it, but why would you if you've got Marsh roving around?
That is brilliant crumbing work by the Woori Yallock vice skipper. Zach Monkhorst couldn't stick the mark, but Alex Marsh with two telling goals in the final quarter. It's an 8-point difference, and in the context of this game, Adam, that's a big lead to overcome for Monbulk. There's still plenty of time, but it hasn't been the highest scoring game of football. That is no secret as we wait for the ball to come back into the middle.
It is certainly going to be a tough hurdle to overcome, but there's certainly no stopping this Monbulk side. They've played some very good footy today, but it'll be about stopping that attacking 50, or that attack that Woori Yallock are mounting. So who can win it out of the middle? The umpire. It's going to throw the ball up and we'll find out in just a moment. Up goes the footy. Winning the tap there was Evans, but he couldn't quite track his own work. Here he is now trying to get the handball out, but he's tackled by Riley Monkhorst. And I wouldn't want to be tackled by Riley Monkhorst either. So up goes the footy again. Winning the tap there. Evans tapped it down. Monbulk trying to bust out of a tackle. Currently in the hands of Banks. And he can't get rid of the footy. So we'll go for take 3 in the middle. You can see how much pressure is being put in this midfield. Up in the air. Monkhorst wins the tap. He just punches it forward, and on the boot there of Marsh, just kicked the 2 goals in the final corner. Gibson running onto it. You can say he's held. Dancing around his opponent. He couldn't have kicked that, could he? Oh, no. Would have been... Everyone would have been up in arms if he had to kick that one. It would have been game sealing almost.
I reckon that would have just been about it, to be honest,
17 minutes
Adam.
gone. And that's another score for Woori Yallock, an 11-point lead now.
Here we go. So Shepherd will bring the ball back into play. Leo used to always say first team to 100 wins it. Well, it might be first team to the half century. Atchison, it wasn't an intercept mark, but it was an intercept possession. The ball spills out the back. It's escorted over the boundary line, and it will be thrown back into play right in front of our broadcast position here at Yarra Junction. The Tigers with a 9-point advantage, which is quite large in the context of this game. There's still time enough, though, for Monbulk. It's anyone's game to be won here. Boundary throw in. Broadcast side of the ground. Monkhorst of the Riley variety with front position. Evans wins it from the back. Monkhorst sends him inside forward 50. Shepherd with the intercepting mark. Steadfast in defence, and Shepherd wants to take it on. He'll go down the line, but he's turned it over. Joel Smith with the intercept mark. He'll dish off. Geordie Williams steps around one, busts the tackle, kick to the top of the square. Monkhorst to the lead has got it. And Zach Monkhorst will line them up from point blank range. And he could potentially just about seal the game and send Woori Yallock into a preliminary final. He's just about got the game on his boot. Zach Monkhorst, no goals as of yet on the afternoon. This to just about seal it. In he comes. And he puts it away. It's a 15-point margin. 8.5 gone into the last quarter. We've ticked into red time. And Zach Monkhorst steps up to the plate and just about kicks Woori Yallock into a prelim.
You would have thought so, Aiden. It's been such a low-scoring game so far, and 15 points is a huge mountain to overcome. And look, it's not impossible, but it's certainly looking unlikely the way this game's been so far.
Yep, it is. It's just been the theme of the game, but this has been the most high-scoring quarter of the last. The wind's still wreaking havoc, but Woori have come to play in this last quarter. They've really found some momentum when they've needed it. And Zach Monkhorst, he's kicked the ball into Woori Yallock just about. As we got to wait for the ball to come back into the middle. But what a moment that was. Geordie Williams, he was so happy with that, and it was such a crucial bit of play to step around his opponent, to shrug the tackle, and then most importantly, square it up to one of the side's best players in Zach Monkhorst, and he crucially converted the opportunity. Inaccuracy had haunted them for most of the day. It cost them last week. It still hasn't been the best day for him in front of goals, 7 goals, 13, but it might be enough. Still time enough for Monbulk, but it's slipping away. So it's back in the middle. The ball will be thrown aloft by the umpire. Monkhorst of the Riley variety tried to grab it out of the ruck, but he couldn't gather it cleanly. There's a free kick for a push. It's going the Tigers' way. Angus Smith, one of the best players on the ground. Back pedals off the mark. Woori Yallock maybe want to try and get one more before they think about holding the ball. He lofts it to half forward. Gibson! Oh, he can't take the mark. He nearly had it. The ball hung in the air for an eternity. Ben Monkhorst, handball over the top. Thompson, kick around the body, shuts the door. And Woori are home now, surely. Thompson with his first on the afternoon. 8:13.61 to 5:10.40. 20 gone in the last.
That is as good as it's going to get for Woori Yallock. Just such a clean set of possessions, and for Thompson to kick that one around his defender as he was copping a hit, pretty much in the ribs, and he just got it around his defender and he kicked it on the ground, and it was amazing to see. So Woori Yallock really just kicking away at this point. 21 points the margin now, if I'm correct, Aiden.
I think that's just about it, Adam.
I think
it's
so too.
Bit too much for Monbulk now. It's been a great fight, but this Tiger side had so much to play for.
Absolutely they do. Up goes the footy once more. Evans won the tap. He's doing everything to get it out of the middle. Just couldn't quite stick the hands. Good Beecroft. I thought he might have had it. Aiden, but he just couldn't quite stick his hands, so we'll have a stoppage in the middle once more. Up goes the footy again. Who's going to win the tap? Monkhorst of the Riley variety wins it, but tap down again. Who's going to run onto it? Monbulk are desperate, and you can tell they really want to kick themselves back into this game, but there's 21 minutes gone. That is such a big ask from here.
Longest quarter, 26:38.
Yeah, exactly right. So tap goes down again. Who's going to win the footy? Beecroft trying to run onto it, kicking it off the ground, but it's been intercepted by Woori Yallock.
Simpson.
In fact, it is Simpson. So Simpson got the footy in the half-back line, and you'd think from here they pretty much got it sealed, provided he doesn't turn it over. He almost did. Kicked into the middle. Woori Yallock. Who's going to be the man to look for? It's Gibson. Gibson trying to run onto it still. He's moving like no one else on this ground. Finessing the world. Kick from there. Oh, he wouldn't launch it from there, surely. He's done a fair effort, to be fair. Zach Monkhorst, not particularly happy it went over his head. So Monbulk go to make it out of their defensive 50.
No.
Oh, no, and dropping the mark there was Adam Banks. Banks tried to run it onto his own. And still not quite succeeding. I thought there maybe Wirtz copping a bit of a high contact. But there will be a stoppage at the top of Woori Yallock's 50. And it is very hard to get it out from here. 22 and a half minutes gone as the umpire throws the ball off once more into the hands of Monbulk. Grabbing it now. Handball it out to the side. Who's got it at the moment? Kick down the line. That's very well marked there by Wentworth. Wentworth got the foot. He's going to wheel around the right. Take a stab into the corridor. Couldn't quite find an actual set of hands on the full. Dancing around the world. Couldn't quite find a teammate. I believe it was Wall. And we'll have a stoppage at the top of the 50. So again, really contested footy at the moment. But top of the Monbulk's 50 has been the closest it's been for the last couple of minutes, isn't it? So up goes the footy once more. Who's going to win it? Evans, I thought, did a pretty good job in the ruck, but beaten out by Monkhorst. And again, we'll have a stoppage. Umpire circling. And yes, we actually will have a stoppage now. Riley Monkhorst does look a little bit sore while he's on the ground at the moment, so he's just making his way up. Maybe just copped a stray one in the last ruck contest. Who's going to win it this time? Evans got the tap down, and he's going to rove his own work. Going to try and get it out, but he is being gang tackled to the ground. And it's going to be pretty hard to get it out of there.
Here we go. So precious seconds ticking away from the Hawks. 2025 is on life support. Woori Yallock trial for a lot of the third quarter. They've got themselves back in front. It's a 21-point margin. Another blood rule. We've seen so many of those today. It's been a physical game because it's been so congested.
Sure has.
So the umpire will throw the ball aloft. Up it goes once again. Riley Monkhorst against Cam Evans. I think Cam Evans got the better of that one. Interesting bounce. Lockie Shepherd gets the ball under his control. Wentworth. Can he swing around to the right? He can. High up and under ball inside the forward. 50. Oh, Hunter Ryan has taken a crucial intercepting mark. As time continues to get away from the Hawks. Low trajectory ball through the middle of the ground onto the chest of Noah Dare. And Woori, they're still going. They want another one. Sends the ball down the line, but it's turned over straight onto the chest of that man, Finlay. Finlay goes back the other way. Hatherley, can he take the mark? It won't matter because Avern cuts across to be able to do the job. He dishes off to Wall. Sends the Hawks inside forward 50. Robbie Allen, though, should get there first. Or will he? No, Rutherford gets there just in time. He's got to go, Bailey Rutherford. He might even be having the set shot for goal. He is. Against the breeze. This would take some damn kick from Bailey Rutherford if he could nail this. He's on a tight angle, kicking into the teeth of the breeze to get it back to 15 points the difference. Oh, I tell you what, I reckon he might have nailed it. No, it's across the face. No mark can be taken. Kick out of the pack by Ryan Burley. Oh, no, the wind's caught it. Stays in play. Maybe still a chance for the Hawks, but the Tigers with a takeaway. High up and under ball. Ben Monkhorst presents. He can't stick the mark. Gathered by Henderson. Tries to step around his man. Is that holding the ball? Umpire calls him to go. Gibson comes away with it. Hands it out wide. Smith being corralled. Dishes off just in time. Through the corridor go Woori Yallock. Taylor Gibson. Oh, beautifully done at grade level by the big man. Noah Dare should be able to run onto it. Gets the accommodating bounce. Good pressure provided by Grimes. Lockie Shepherd takes on the corridor. The mark will be taken by Banks. Maybe one last roll of the dice still here for the Hawks, but a lot of work needs to be done. Gibson doing well to keep him corralled. He has to backpedal off the mark. Sends it out wide. Can a mark be taken? No, it can't. It's fisted away. Who can gather the football in the middle of the ground? Plenty of players trying to slap it forward. Hunter Ryan dishes off looking for Thompson, but it's been intercepted by Hoare, who finds a player up the line in Burley. Burley dishes off to Grimes. Long kick down the line, and the boundary line will beat everyone. And it will be thrown back into play. Can't be long left now, surely.
Wouldn't have thought so. So we'll have a boundary throw in Monbulk's forward half, and it's pressure seconds are very much getting away from the Hawks at the moment. In comes the footy. Who's going to win the tap? Cam Evans. He sort of fell over as he tried to tap it, so it hasn't worked out in their favour. Monbulk's got the footy though. Riley Finlay couldn't quite get it off the boot. He's been tackled. There'll be another stoppage at the edge of the square. Oh my goodness me. This has been such a pressure-heavy game.
Yep, it has been.
And Monbulk really feeling it now. You'd think there can't be much more time left. Up goes the footy again. Evans with a really great tap down. He hasn't quite won the footy yet though. In the hands of Beecroft. Beecroft tackled immediately out of the air. Again, Beecroft had a pretty good start to this game, and his impact has been nullified in this last quarter. The footy will go up once more in the front half of the offense for Monbulk. Tap down one by Monkhorst. In the hands of Evans now. Evans hands it forward. Havern couldn't quite get a hand to it. Who's deep in the forward 50? Hatherley's trying to get his hands on it. And there'll be another stoppage about 15 out directly in front. Can Monbulk kick a consolation goal? Up goes the footy. Who's going to win the tap down? Monbulk get the initial tap, but it's ended up in the hands of the Tigers. There'll be another stoppage, I would have thought. There is 10 players in that tackle. My goodness me. There'll be another stoppage directly out in front. Footy will go up once more. I feel like it's my most used words today. Go to the hands of Monbulk. Who's going to kick it around the corner? It couldn't be Pack. And unfortunately just...
Yep.
In fact, it's Rack is what I tried to say.
Rack out of the pack, I think is what
Rack out of the pack, exactly right. So, Woori Yallock playing it on the broadcast side of the wing. I think they know that they're home.
It's like a Dr. Seuss book, Rack out of the pack.
Rack out of a pack. Can we work on that through the week?
I think so, yep. I think that might be a cheeky little Instagram post, that one.
I think it might
Rack
be.
Out of the pack.
Rack out of the pack. So who's got it at the moment? Woori Yallock just kicking it back, and they just know that they've got the time to waste. We're 28 minutes into this last quarter. A far longer quarter than what we've seen so far today. Bouncing out of there is absolutely everyone, to be honest. Matthews tried to get away and ended up being caught. So Monbulk got the footy at the moment. Can they kick one last goal before the final siren? No. It's been turned over into the hands of that man, Angus Smith, who's played a fantastic game of footy today.
He's been ripping, so Joel Smith kicks across goal. He finds Malachi Polton, and there's not too long left to go, surely. 29 minutes have elapsed into the final quarter. There's a whistle, and a 25-metre penalty has been paid to Woori Yallock. But this game is home and hose now. The Tigers have done well. They were challenged by a valiant Monbulk side. But when it mattered most, there might be a chance here if Avern can run down his opponent, but he can't. High up and under ball to the pavilion wing. Riley Monkhorst in a 2-on-1 has done pretty well. The ball eventually, though, will be gathered for Monbulk, or will it? Good pressure provided by the Tigers. And this marathon of a last quarter continues. But Woori Yallock should be home now. 29 and a half gone. This is the longest quarter of the game. Up it goes. Zach Monkhorst thumps it forward. Ben Monkhorst, there's maybe time enough for one more goal. Handball's back into the corridor. Marsh, is he being held? Got a little toe poker on it. Matthews is there. Handball back. Kick out of the pack by Basoli. And that will do some icing on the cake for Woori Yallock. Cody Basoli with his second on the afternoon. Make it 26 points the difference. 9-13-67 to 5-11-41.
He really wanted that one, couldn't you? You could tell that he wanted that one.
Yep.
And he just stuck it straight through the middle, and they know that they're home, Woori Yallock. They know that they're home. A prelim final book for them next week. I was going to say, they will be ecstatic with that one. You can continue your next week's preview if you'd like, Aidan.
Exactly right, against Lindafernie Creek. And the total aggregate of the margin between those sides is 6 points. 1 point, 1 point, 4 points. So it's back in the middle once again. Riley Monkhorst wins the tap. He roves his own tap. He'll send the Tigers inside forward 50. Don't tell me they're going to kick another goal. No, Finlay cuts it off. Shepherd just dumps the ball onto the right boot. It's worked out. Hazelwold Beecroft couldn't stick the mark. It was a tricky one to trap considering the way the ball was spinning. Angus Smith with another possession. What a game he's played today. One of the young Woori Yallock stars. Williams just goes backwards, and that should do the relieving mark taken by Atchison. Nearly 31 minutes have gone to this final quarter. It's been a marathon. Hunter Ryan takes the mark overhead. Back pedals, wheels around. Oh, he sells a bit of candy. Hunter Ryan, he sells another bit of candy. Oh no, he did get taken to the tackle eventually, but Woori Yallock not going to give up. And there is a siren. And finally, the Tigers are home. They are through to the preliminary final against Celinda Ferny Creek next week. A marathon last quarter. What a game. They were down at three-quarter time, but when it mattered most, they found a way. 5 goals in the last quarter. They only kicked 4 goals to three-quarter time. They more than doubled their tally and come away with a 26-point victory. 9-13-67 to 5-11-41. Adam, what a contest that was.
It certainly was. Just that last quarter, you could tell Monbulk were just feeling a bit tired. They'd played such a fantastic game before then, and you could just tell they didn't really want to be kicking into the win in that last quarter. And I think at this point, Woori Yallock had worked out exactly what would work and what didn't work. And a couple of times, just maybe not so great judgment calls in the middle of the ground from both sides, to be honest. This wind has been a killer today. But Woori Yallock come home with kicking 5 goals in that last quarter.